in racing coming up. But first.
He kept it in, and now LeCavalier shot. He scores! It's deflected on the way in. Raffle gives it to him, and the save, rebound, they score! LeCavalier staying with it. Back to LeCavalier. He scores! The hat trick for Vinny LeCavalier.
Hats off to Vincent LeCavalier, who recorded his first Flyers hat trick on Long Island. Hello again and welcome into the Orange Line presented by Bradford White Water Heaters. I'm your host, John Borick. Scott Hartnell's rugged style of play and his flowing red locks have been a fan favorite among children here in the Delaware Valley. And it makes perfect sense because the Flyers' all-star forward is truly a kid at heart. Iceline in Westchester was the location as AAA Mid-Atlantic and the Flyers teamed up to provide a special day for young Flyers fans. There were great giveaways to be had and a chance to test out some hockey skills. But it was a special guest that stole the spotlight.
Hi, cutie. How are you? You want to get a picture? Out here. Look at that smile.
Flyers winger Scott Hartnell made a surprise appearance that began by hitting the ice with some of the game's youngest players.
What's up, guys? Is there hitting involved yet? Are you guys allowed to hit yet? Okay. Because I'm going to smoke a few of you. Oh! Oh! What a goal. La Yager salute. You right? Oh, Hartnell down. Go Flyers!
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, buddy. You're welcome.
Known for his gregarious style on the ice, Hartnell didn't mind playing the role of teddy bear on this day.
Well, it's great. I saw a lot of smiles when I went out there with the young kids, and see smiles on kids' faces, and remember what I was like when I was 5, 6, 7 years old. It's brings back a lot of great hockey memories, and it's good to do.
And Hartnell wasn't done with the surprises as he held a locker room meet and greet with members of the Little Flyers youth team.
Are you playing for us? Yeah.
Look at this hairdo.
Play for us. We need some help.
Nice hair, bud.
These young players know their hockey and had some tough questions for the all-star winger, including how often he reflects on coming so close to winning the Stanley Cup in 2010.
I probably think about it every few days that we made it that far and didn't win, but gives you a little fuel to get back there, and it was the best time of my life, going to the Stanley Cup Finals. But I think we'll be better for it, and hopefully we can get there again.
Hartnell also offered some sound hockey advice that translates away from the rink as well.
Another thing I'll say too is my dad, after every practice, and still when I talk to him every day, he asks me who's the hardest working player in practice. And I never want to lie to my dad. I never want to lie to anyone. So I have to work my butt off in practice to tell him that it was me. I was the hardest working player. So you work hard, you're going to get results, and you're going to have fun while you do it.
After a dose of seriousness, it was time to show off the silly side.
Who wants to fight me when we get over?
I've heard it before, but you make kids' days when you come out and say hi and an autograph or a high five, and they'll remember that forever. And I remember when I was a kid like that too. And first time I saw Wayne Gretzky, I was 8, 9 years old, and I was just like, he was on the ice, and it was just a cool treat. And hopefully it inspires them to be great people and great athletes.
We're trying to let people know that AAA is a great brand and a great product for the families and athletes that travel. No matter what age they are, they've got to get to their game. They've got to get to practice. And AAA is whether you need a hotel room, you need a roadside assistance, we're there to make sure you're going to get to that game. So to have someone like Scott, who just people love, you saw it inside there today, the kids were just so excited to see him. It makes it fun to deliver a good message.
Hartnell had one last thrill for this group of Little Flyers. The 30-goal scorer took the warm-up prior to their game, and he fired some pucks.
Oh! Pick those pucks up, boys. Pick those pucks up.
Let's go, boys.
Are we going to win this thing or what?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Let's go.
And he even had time for an interesting chat with the opposing team.
Did you ever fight Sean Avery?
I did fight Sean Avery,
Did you
yeah.
win?
Chris, let's not worry about fighting.
I beat him up.
Guys, we have a
I beat
game
him
to
up.
play.
the rest of his afternoon was spent signing autographs for dozens of players.
Oh, who gave you that?
You.
Ha! I did. All right. You hang that up in your wall, bud.
And before he left, Hartnell also picked up some valuable automotive advice from a AAA Mid-Atlantic technician. On a day where the Flyers star provided some great advice of his own, he also ended up learning some important information. Scott Hartnell would have been a nice fit on those Broad Street Bullies teams of the 1970s. The leader of that group, head coach Fred Shiro, will be posthumously inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame next week. Freddie the Thaw guided the Flyers to a pair of Stanley Cups in the 1970s and still tops the franchise's all-time win list. We recently had the chance to catch up with a pair of his former players to talk about an honor that probably should have occurred years ago.
It's long overdue, in my opinion. I think Freddie, at all different levels, succeeded. For one thing, he was a good hockey man. He represented the game well, and I'm just got my fingers crossed. I hope everything goes down. He was a great man, gave me an opportunity to play, and I won't forget it.
What he did, forget the Broad Street Bully side of the equation, but Freddie Shiro revolutionized hockey. He changed. We had a system, we had a pretty disciplined system, and we played within that system, and I don't think he gets enough credit for how he really changed the game of hockey. And not only, in a positive way, but not only, people just focus on the Broad Street Bully image, but he really changed hockey for the better in a positive way.
Still ahead, the Flyers' 2010 Stanley Cup final run was littered with a number of unbelievable moments.
The Flyers beat the Canadiens in 5, and they're headed to the Stanley Cup final.
Braden Coburn reflects on that team's refusal to back down in the face of adversity in Orange and Back. It's part speed and part spooky as the Flyers charities combine a 5K run with some Halloween fun. We comb the costumes and the course on the other side. Plus, Matt Reed discusses why it was important for him to sign on the dotted line and commit to the Flyers moving forward.
The Orange Line, presented in part by Bradford White Water Heaters. American-made, American-owned, built to be the best. To find a professional contractor near you, visit BradfordWhite.com.
Underway here at the Wells Fargo Center.
You can experience Flyers hockey from your very own suite for a game. Entertain clients or celebrate special occasions at select November Flyers home.
Trivia quiz. At the 2007 trade deadline, Paul Holmgren made a deal with the Atlanta Thrashers to acquire Braden Coburn. Our question this week, which player did the Flyers send to the Thrashers in that deal? We'll have the answer in just a moment. Speaking of the centerpiece of that trade.
I'm Braden Coburn, and this is Orange and Back.
Orange and Back, presented by Supercuts.
Roaring on in is Jokinen. The deep, the save by Boucher, and the Flyers are going to the playoffs.
That was a crazy year. It was a lot of highs and a lot of lows that year. We also had a coaching change that year with another good coach being replaced, John Stevens, for Peter Laviolette that year. And we kind of went on a little bit of a roller coaster in the regular season and sneaking into the playoffs in the last game of the year and really kind of catching on fire in the first couple of rounds of playoffs and coming up against a tough opponent, Chicago, in the finals. But that was a different year for sure, and one that makes you thankful of just getting into the playoffs and you can make anything happen.
They go to Richards. Richards' shot redirected. Gagne shot. He scores! Simone Gagne! Can you believe it?
I hate to do what ifs. It's just so many different things that you don't know what would have happened. But I think we had a great group of guys that were able to put it together at the right time. And when you get into a playoff series and you're playing the same team every other night in a 7-game series in a setting like that, I think we had the right mix of guys to make good things happen that year.
Ole, ole! The Flyers beat the Canadiens in 5, and they're headed to the Stanley Cup final.
What happens when you mix hockey, Halloween, and a 5-kilometer run? What you have is a fun-filled event full of wonderful memories for Flyers fans. Our Amy Fadul has more on a unique event that possesses a little bit of everything while helping out a great cause.
I'm ready to run! Rock and roll! Spirits were high and the sun was shining for the 2013 Flyers Charities Halloween 5K and 1 mile walk. In its second year, the event actually originated as a response to last year's work stoppage.
We wanted to continue our community events for Flyers Charities, and we came up with an idea of a 5K run because at the time there wasn't a season. So we started it and it was tremendous success, and we just hit upon another type of unique activity that fans like to do and to help raise money for local causes.
The first Halloween 5K run and 1 mile walk certainly left an impression. When you add in the typical passion of Flyers fans, it shouldn't come as a surprise that this year's race saw a staggering increase in participation.
I think we doubled the amount of runners this year, so it's something that's catching on, and I think it was a little warmer last year with the weather, but they showed up in droves and they're in costumes, and it's exciting to see.
I mean, it's the right thing to do. We live and work in an area where there's a lot of important charities that we can help support, and that's what we do. And it's a great way to brand our Flyers wives and also support the team.
Diane Hextall, the wife of Flyers Assistant General Manager Ron Hextall, actually participated in the 5K race. Diane used to serve as the Flyers Wives Carnival chairperson, and she's excited to now give back in this new, unique way.
I am just so thrilled to be back, and yes, I love the community atmosphere of pulling together and doing something good and making the world a better place.
Chris Heisey posted a sub-16-minute time to win the event for the second straight year, and Rita Ann O'Brien took home top honors for the women. Both champions know that the real winners on this day were the organizations benefiting from the great work of Flyers Charities.
It's always a motivator to come out and see all these people out supporting it, and there's great turnout. The pack and pickup took forever, but that's, because so many people are interested in supporting cause.
I know the Flyers charity helps a lot of different organizations, so it's good to kind of give back a little bit.
A Halloween event would not be complete without a costume contest. From the silly to the adorable and everything in between, Flyers fans did not disappoint. All in all, it was a day without tricks, but plenty of treats for everyone that took part. Amy Fadul, Comcast Sportsnet.
Opposing goalies think Matt Reed's wrister is one of the spookiest in all of hockey. The Flyers winger gives us the backstory of his signature shot.
If I missed the net, there was a lot of puck marks, and when we moved out of that house, they had to fix the fence before we left.
And the NHL has been loaded with highlight reel plays over the past week, including some goals that will make your head spin.
Yager against Bishop. Score!
We'll sort out the best of the... The Wells Fargo Center is a haven for hockey of all kinds, including some great NCAA action as Penn State and Vermont took center stage in the Flyers' home. This contest included a number of local products, including 2010 Flyers draft pick Nick Luco. The Vermont star finds the back of the net here with a nice blast from the point. In the third, Nittany Lions power play, but Vermont takes to the attack. Warminster native Brendan Bradley beats his man. His initial shot blocked, but he somehow puts in the rebound as Vermont wins this great matchup by a final of 5-2. One Flyers player whose path to the NHL went through the collegiate ranks is Matt Reed. The undrafted free agent was signed after 4 seasons at Bemidji State University in Minnesota, and he has emerged as a major find for the Orange and Black. This past offseason, Reed was rewarded with a new contract extension. And that's where I catch up with the Flyers winger. Matt, you can come into this season relaxed, at least from a financial side. How important was it to get a new contract extension done even before training camp and go into the season knowing it wasn't something you're going to have to worry about?
It's obviously pretty nice. It's having security, I guess, as a job security, and knowing that I can be a Flyer for the next 5 years is, what I wanted. Is something that I look forward to this summer, to getting kind of a deal done and having a secure spot with, a team I want to play for.
Is it still a little bit surreal because you came here a couple of years ago as an undrafted free agent, not knowing if you even had an NHL future at the time?
Yeah, coming out of college, you never know where you're going to end up, and you know, just told myself that I'm going to work hard every day and see where it gets me. And I was lucky enough to have 2 solid years, I guess, or a year and a half with the lockout, and just take it every day, day by day, and just try to enjoy life as an NHL player. And I was very fortunate that I got to sign an extension here and continue to live a dream of playing hockey.
Was it reassuring to get it done before camp?
Exactly. You never know how the season's going to be. Injuries play out, or what line you're going to be, how you're feeling every night. There's so many unknown factors that we talked about it this summer, and just if you can get it done before the season, have a guaranteed. It's it takes everything off your mind. You can just play hockey again, and if you do get hurt or you're not holding the stick a little bit tighter every game, or it's just you can go out there and be yourself every night.
How important is now year number 3 for you, because you came on, led all NHL rookies in goals in year 1. Last year was obviously disappointing. You had the surgery. How important is it for you to have that bounce back season?
It's very important, not only for myself, but we have such a great team, and just to be a contributing factor every night, help our team win, and I just want to be out there, do the best I can for myself and for my line mates and my team. That at the end of the night, that we have a winning record and make the playoffs, and give ourselves a chance to win the Stanley Cup this year.
Returns, fires, and scores! In on goal! He scores!
You have one of the top wrist shots on this team and across the league. How did you go about developing that? Did you go down to the basement and and practice down there, or how did you go about obviously refining that?
I had a hockey net in the backyard of my parents' place, and I was from about 12 to 17 when I lived at home, and right against the fence, chain fence, and if I missed the net, there was a lot of puck marks. And when we moved out of that house, they had to fix the fence before we left. But no, I shot pucks every day. I think we had about 40 pucks in our little basket, and I would try to get every puck into one corner, and then just rotate corners and go 5-hole and just shoot as much as I could. And it's kind of turned out that it's easy to score on a wrist shot, I guess, for myself.
I guess I could picture you were probably out there until it became dark and Mom was yelling at you to come in the house?
No, it wasn't at nighttime. I usually would go work out in the morning and skate in the morning and come home and shoot pucks and stuff before I go to work or something like that in the afternoon.
As expected, there's new faces in the dressing room. You've got Vinny, you have Ray, you have Mark Streit. What's it like having these 3 guys now part of the team?
We'll start off with Razor Emery. He, having 2 goalies that are both potential starting number 1 goalies. They both have an opportunity to be the number 1 goalie here, and just the 2 battling it out, and they're going to show up every night. And as soon as one has a night off, they lose responsibility, and it's going to go to the other goalie. So it's it's good to see those 2 goalies battle it out, and that we have confidence in both goalies. So it's going to be whoever plays that night. It's going to be no worry about it. We're going to go out and play our game, and both boys are going to do their job. Mark Streit is a great skater, great heads-up player, good shot. Makes a smart play 9 out of 10 times. He's a fun guy being around the locker room, always smiling, always laughing, and look forward to seeing him more often around the rink and watching him on the ice. And Vinny Ocavier, he's won a Stanley Cup. He's been in the NHL for 12 years maybe, a long time. He's a established veteran in this league, and for the guys like myself, you learn a lot from him.
If you need further proof that the NHL is home to the best players in the world, keep it tuned for the most dynamic plays from the past week on ice. Top Shelf is on the way. Time to check back on your Flyers knowledge. Earlier in the show, we asked you the following trivia question. Which player did the Flyers send to the Atlanta Thrashers in the 2007 trade for Braden Coburn? The correct answer, Alexei Zhitnik. The veteran defenseman ended up playing 83 games over parts of 2 seasons in Atlanta before heading to Russia to play for the KHL's Moscow Dynamo. That's just about all the time we have for this edition of The Orange Line, presented by Bradford White Water Heaters. I'm John Borick. Our special thanks go out to Scott Hartnell, Matt Reed, and Braden Coburn for their time for this week's show. Before we go, once again, we leave you with the best plays throughout the NHL in our segment we like to call Top Shelf.
Oh, there he is, the shot. He scores!
Center down the right wing, closes in, scores! Krug with Charles, tip, Krejci for Chara, he scores! How's that for timing?
The rebound sitting there, he got a piece of it, and they score!
The Niskanen to Letang, and a save, no, it goes in! Bouchard to Hickey, who comes down the boards, plays it across, they score! Franz Nielsen ties it, 4-4.
Simmons tracks it down, it's past to Reed, stepping in front, shot, save, rebound, he scores!
And here's an opportunity. Hornquist get over the line with a shot, and he scores. Gonzalo moving down. Brassard winds up. Big drive. He scores! Oh, mercy! Ding-a-ling off the post and in.
There's a shot and a glove save by Mason off of Ryan Getzlaf. Flashing some leather. Steve Mason. The search for answers continues for the Flyers after an extremely frustrating night Thursday.
If I was a fan, I'd be booing myself too. And I mean, it's not acceptable. We're a better team than this. We gotta go and play the game and start winning them.
I've been in the game for 47 years. I've never seen anything like this. We certainly know that we're more talented than we're showing on the ice. I think the question is, how talented are we?
Perhaps we get closer to an answer to that as the Flyers are back on home ice today, hosting the Oilers next. Our first matinee of this season. Luke Schenn back in the lineup for the Flyers as they prepare for an afternoon game. Scott Hartnell, he's always loose and ready. Of course, Steve Mason has been focused all year long. It's the Flyers and the Edmonton Oilers from the Wells Fargo Center. East meeting West here today. And a pleasant good afternoon. Welcome to Flyers Hockey on Comcast Sportsnet. Along with Keith Jones, I'm Jim Jackson. Steve Coates joins us here in just a moment or two. And Jonesy, no question about it, it's been a tough start for the Philadelphia Flyers, especially on offense. Just 22 goals scored through the first 15 games. Everyone wants to know, what can they do to make it better?
They need to possess the puck more in the offensive zone, take some chances. They've gotten good goaltending and played well defensively of late. So let the goaltender take care of some of the work in his own zone, and the forwards start taking care of the business that needs to be taken care of in the offensive zone. You can see the numbers there, atrocious, embarrassing from the players' perspective. They're upset about it. There's only one way to fix it, and that's go out on the ice and generate more offensive opportunities. You may give up a couple on your own goaltender. Let him make the save. So both goalies have played well in the early going.
And as Ed Snyder pointed out, there's clearly more offensive talent here than those numbers would indicate. Part of that talent is Vincent Lecavalier. He's downstairs with Steve Coates.
Thanks very much, Jimmy. And Vinny, obviously things are not going well as far as on a win basis with this hockey team, and you've been around an awful long time. What is the number one thing you would say if you had that chance to say, okay, this is the one thing we got to do better?
Well, I think right now we got to skate more. We got to, I think we skate more. We'll create a lot more offensive zone. We'll be able to penetrate their defense and bring the puck to the net. Same thing. I mean, I think defensively we're doing a lot of good things. We got to skate when we get that puck.
In saying that number one thing, the power play is struggling right now too. What would be the number one thing on the power play that you got to do?
Well, I thought, I think sometimes we move it around pretty good, but we got to get more shots on net. I mean, we'll open everything up. We get some shots on net, then the plays will open up.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
When you talk about number one picks, Vinny Lecavalier, number one overall. Well, the Edmonton Oilers are absolutely loaded with them. When you talk about Ryan Nugent Hopkins and Jordan Eberle. Now, Eberle went into 22nd in the first round. But when you talk about Nugent Hopkins, you're talking about a number 1 pick in 2011. And both are mirror images of each other when it comes to their talent, ability. Eberle right now leads the Edmonton Oilers in scoring. Not the biggest guy in the world. He plays the wing, and he has to struggle a little bit with his skating, but still, he knows where the net is. He's got great puck skills, great shot, both on the backhand and the forehand, and he is a good one. When you talk about Nugent Hopkins, maybe a little bit not as mature right now, because obviously he was taken in 2011. He's a bigger player, probably a better skater, but bottom line is, as I mentioned, this team is loaded with high-powered offense, Jimmy.
Well, they certainly are, Coatsy. A lot of first-round picks, a lot of first overall picks, in fact, Keith Jones. Here are 2 of them.
Yeah, Taylor Hall in 2010 was selected by the Edmonton Oilers with the first overall pick. You can see the numbers for Hall. Nail Yakupov in 2012 was the first overall selection. His numbers not so good. He's been a healthy scratch twice this season. Oilers have a ton of offensive power, and these 2 guys will be 2 that the Flyers will have to slow down.
The Oilers and the Flyers from Wells Fargo Center face off straight ahead. Today's Flyers-Oilers game is brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. By Wells Fargo. When you're considering buying your first home, Wells Fargo is with you. Wells Fargo, together we go far. And by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places. Steve Mason gets back between the pipes for the Flyers today. Despite registering only 3 wins this season, he's been solid as a rock. He has not allowed more than 3 goals in any of his 11 starts this season. Mason backstops the Flyers as they face off with the Oilers after these messages. His first period on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers. And by Papa John's. The day after every Flyers win, get 50% off your online order at papajohns.com using promo code FLYERS. Young fans are ready. Everybody's ready for the Flyers and the Oilers. First time these teams have played here in Philadelphia since March of 2011. Only 4 players from each team will dress today that dressed in that game.
Let's take a look at our Kia starting goaltenders, and neither of these goaltenders were in that game. Devan Dubnyk, the starter for the Edmonton Oilers, at 6'6". He's a big man. The numbers not that impressive in the early going, especially the save percentage. Steve Mason, you can see his record there. Save percentage outstanding, goals against average not too bad. The win record needs to improve, and the Flyers will try to do that against this man, Devan Dubnyk.
Big guy, 6'6", 210, and he'll have some company as a goaltender for the Oilers in the near future. A guy by the name of Ilya Bryzgalov, just signed yesterday by the Oilers, headed to the minor leagues for a rehab stint and then be up with the big club. It is Dubnyk here today against Mason as we're underway. The Flyers in their home orange tops, road whites for the Oilers. Most of the 2 meetings this season between these 2 clubs. The Flyer line combinations at the top of your screen, followed by the defense pairs. Here's Eddie LeCavalier moving it to Wayne Simmons. Simmons in, but his shot blocked aside by Andrew Ferentz, the captain of the Oilers, and the puck goes out of play.
Wayne Simmons playing with LeCavalier in this game. It was Matt Reed in the last one. He goes back with Sean Couturier on that 3rd line. Craig Berube still tinkering a little bit with his line-up, but not as much as he had to over the last few games. There's the head coach of the Philadelphia Flyers.
Searching for some offense, and the Flyers hoping they can get some offense against a team that has allowed the most goals per game in the NHL. And the Oilers, as you look at their forward combinations of defense pairs at the top of your screen. Here's Boyd Gordon moving up, turning with it, and firing it back through the slot. Flyers able to play the care of as Braden Shen hesitated. Now he'll move it up, and from his side of the red line plays it in, so that is icing against the Flyers. Needed to go 1 more stride. He doesn't like the call, but face-off down into the Philadelphia zone. Dallas Eakins, fourth coach in the last 5 years for this Edmonton Oilers team. And comes after 4 good years as the head coach of the American Hockey League Toronto Marlies. But he has had his challenges here early as well.
A lot of good, young, talented players, as we talked about in the open, for the Edmonton Oilers, and a first-year head coach having some difficulties finding the right combinations to get things to work at both ends of the ice.
He played for an awful lot of teams in the National Hockey League. 8 teams in 120 games, so he got to see a lot of different systems.
Wayne Simmons after the puck, but the Oilers come up with it. Deflects back out, ferrets across. The Petrie's shot is muted by Braden Shen and played by LeCavalier ahead to Wayne Simmons. And Simmons will shovel it deep into the Edmonton zone as the Flyers go for the change. Petrie, the son of former Detroit Tigers pitcher Dan, gets the puck ahead, and now here's Sam Gagner. His dad used to play in the NHL. But Huskies buried by Nick Grossman as Hartnell clears the zone. Drew out for his first shift as he is out with Voracek and Hartnell. And here's Nick Grossman. Cross ice. There's to maneuver up. Mark Streit laying it ahead for the captain. He fluttered it in, didn't get it past Petrie, will turn it back out. That's a turnover to Giroux, who will send one toward the slot. Voracek got his stick on it. Dubnyk had to make a save, and then the Oilers get the puck out of harm's way and to the neutral zone. Streit able to break up a pass there, played it ahead to Hartnell, and he'll whack it into the Edmonton zone, and the Flyers go for another change. And that's Petrie handing off. Now Nugent Hopkins got it ahead. Jordan Eberle, his pass tipped away, and now in on goal. Mason sweeps that aside. Perron back from the injured list, missed 4 games with a neck injury. He couldn't do much with that, and the Flyers move back. Matt Reed from center will dump it in. Getting to it, Raffle for the shot, and the save made rebound away from Matt Reed. He's trying to get back to it, but it will drift out to the neutral zone. Just over 2 minutes in. Glad you could join us on Comcast Sportsnet, as well as the NHL Network. The Flyers and Oilers here from Philadelphia. 2 hungry hockey teams with 4 wins for both clubs thus far this season. Oilers moving the puck ahead. Luke Gazdic will send it in, and then he'll chase. It's Eric Gustafsson to the puck, and then battles after it. Raffle, who will get the puck out to the neutral zone for Philadelphia. Back to play it was Anton Belov. And now the Oilers have it. Shot in from center ice by the defenseman Philip Larson, formerly the Dallas Stars. He's just up from the minors for the Oilers and has impressed the coaching staff. Ended up the most ice time of the defense corps in their loss to Tampa Bay the other night. And Dallas Eakins said it after the game. You'll be able to tell who we're happy with by how much ice time they're getting.
It's the right way to do it. Find out early, and if you want to make an impression on your head coach, get off to a good start in any game, and before you know it, you're out there an awful lot.
There's a shot, and Mason ready for that one from Mark Arcabella, who is second among all rookies in points. Most of them assists, but a pleasant surprise. Oilers try to get that puck out in front. Petrie a shot, that's blocked. And Luke Shen gets in the way of that one as Petrie goes back to get it in the neutral zone. Petrie bumped by Jay Rosehill, is back in the lineup for the Flyers. Chris Newberry sitting. Mark Streit will start up. Streit checked as he gets to the red line, and a second try he's able to sweep the puck in. Might have been clipped with his stick as he did so, but we carry on as the Oilers move the puck ahead. There's Petrie. Pass tipped by Simmons, who steals. Now looks to move ahead with it. Wayne Simmons tucks the puck into the Edmonton zone. Braden Shen chases. Nick Schultz got there first and plays it up and past Grossman out through center and down the ice. 3 shots for the Oilers early on, 2 for the Flyers. Over 4 minutes in. Wright turns it over to Taylor Hall. Hall had a goal in his first game back after missing 7 with a knee injury. He had other chances in that game as well, and a couple of them on rushes where it did not look as though his knee was bothering him anymore, Jones. He was flying.
He can flat out fly down the wing. Powerful skater. Terrific left winger. They tried him at center to start the season, but that didn't work out too well. Back where he belongs on the left side, and a very dangerous guy every time he's on the ice.
Oilers moving up here. Larson joining the rush, has the puck, drops it back. Nugent Hopkins back to Larson, backhander! Mason able to make the save. He looked around because there was no whistle, but it was in his equipment. Mason a big stop there to keep this one scoreless.
That's where the Oilers are dangerous on the rush, and it's a good job in the passing department. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins to Larson, who goes to the net, and Mason wasn't 100% sure that he had that puck covered, and the whistle came just in time.
What Larson does is he has his skates below the goal line, so he's trying to fool Mason to move off that pipe because it looks like he's going to go behind. All of a sudden, he came with that backhand trying to flip it up and over Mason.
Well, an example there of what the Oilers have plenty of, and that is team speed. Flyers have to be aware of that here this afternoon. Oilers with 3 scoring chances already. The Flyers with 2. Raffle in the corner. Ridden. Tom Beloff will throw it to the other side of the ice. Coburn ready for that. And he moves in deep with the puck. Raffle to it. Reed, the forward, has dropped back to make up for Coburn, who had moved in on the offensive foray, but nothing developing off of that for the Flyers. Beloff has it for the Oilers, picked up in the KHL, signed by the Oilers in the offseason. Everly moving well to the backhand. Coburn swoops in to knock the puck away. And the Flyers trying to move up. Cross-ice pass. Raffle from the red line. Couldn't get it past Petrie, who also decked Raffle, who gets back up and jabs it to Gustafsson. This defense pair back in the lineup for the Flyers. Gustafsson and Shen as Gill, Al Gill, and Nader Nazaros. Healthy scratches here this afternoon. And the Flyers having trouble controlling as Ronaldo had that one slip away. Gustafsson has to go back and get it. You almost sense how the Flyers still holding those sticks pretty tightly. And just need something to get them to loosen up. Here's Ronaldo. Pump it into the Edmonton zone and go after it. Jabs it around. Rosehill could not catch up to it. The Oilers will move it to center ice. Ryan Smith and Nail Yakupov, but his shot, he fanned on it. He gets back to it. Twisted around behind the net for the veteran Smith, who got it out in front. The shot blocked. Gazdic couldn't get that one through. Back to play it is Taylor Fedun. There's a goal in each of his first 2 games at the NHL level. This game's easy, right, Jones?
Yep, and you can look for him to be jumping in from that Oiler point.
There he is, number 81. Product of Princeton. Mechanical engineering degree already under his belt. And he's in the NHL too. Here's a turnover by LeCavalier. Arcabella will flip one from the angle, and the save made by Mason. Comes out in front. Kept out of harm's way by Mark Streit, but back to the point. Fedun, a shot is deflected off his stick back around behind the net. Streit trying to wrap his man up. Gordon trying to get that one out in front, but Mason has that in his glove. These 5 deserving members. Fred Sherrill, long overdue, but finally goes into the hall. Ray Sherrill, his son, the general manager of the Penguins, will present on Monday. Former Flyer captain and Kevin Dineen fired down in Florida as they decide to go to Peter Horacek to try to get things turned around down there. And this guy will be back in the NHL soon, Mr. Jones.
Stay tuned. I'm interested to watch how that plays itself out. We'll see if Ilya Bryzgalov can bounce back in Edmonton. And they're in dire need of some good goaltending and hoping that Bryzgalov can provide it.
1 year, $1.75 million deal reported, and Bryzgalov will get a couple games down in the minors. He has not been playing for a while. He'll be back up, and the Flyers, of course, go to Edmonton in late December, so perhaps they'll play against Bryz. That would make for some theater, right?
Especially if Emery's in that.
Here's Scott Hartnell looking for Giroux. He's interfered with. That'll be a penalty. Good job by Giroux keeping the legs moving, and Beloff cut him off, and he'll get the gate. The Flyers will get the game's first power play.
Well, Belov's he's a big man, 27 years old into the National Hockey League, and right there he just drills Giroux. No puck. You don't see a puck.
There are the virtuous scratches from the lineups. We talked about the Flyers' 3 healthy scratches. Steve Downey getting closer. Could play on Tuesday in Ottawa. Justin Schultz, one of the names out due to injury. And that name at the bottom for the Oilers, Will Acton. Yeah, that's Keith Acton, the former Flyer assistant coach and current associate coach of the Oilers. That's his son. Made it to the NHL, but has been scratched through the last couple of games. There's your McDonald's power play payoff contested. The interference penalty on Beloff. Horacek moves the puck to Hartnell. Now it's Simmons back to Timonen at the point. Or Giroux, and they're set up. Giroux dishing to Hartnell. He'll tip it back to Timonen. He'll take the shot. Save made. Dubnyk. Rebound is loose. Hartnell got one hand on it and a stick and then guided it toward Dubnyk, but he was able to cover, and then some pushing and shoving. But those are the kind of rebounds the Flyers have got to take advantage of.
It looked like Hartnell wanted to one-hand that puck to Voracek, who was coming in from the hash marks looking for that opportunity. The shot by Tiemann is smart because Simmons is set up in front. He battles, keeps that puck alive, and then Hartnell, I think, tried to chip that over to Voracek, but Dubnyk was there to cover it.
Dubnyk's a big guy. Even going down the butterfly, boy, he's got a lot of pad right there in front of you, but he didn't have this one. Hartnell's kind of stuck. He's got his left hand behind him, so he's trying to get that puck on his stick with the one hand, like Jonesy said, but he just didn't have enough oomph on it.
Now it's Jake Voracek swooping in from the right point. Sit down low, Simmons. Back out to Giroux. He'll just backhand one through heavy traffic and wide. Voracek gets to it again. Back to Giroux. The center point, Tiemann. Cross it goes. Voracek takes the shot. Save Dubnyk. Rebound. Sitting there. Trying to clear his fair. Hit his own man now. It is set all the way down by Boyd Gordon. There are the numbers for these particular units. The Flyers, of course, have struggled with the power plays. They move over. Giroux's shot goes wide. And Arcabello able to clear the zone. Flyers won for their last 17 with the man advantage. The Oilers down near the bottom, though, on the penalty kill. So perhaps a unit they can get better against as the second unit out for Philadelphia. Straight ahead. Braden Shen will backhand in. The Cavalier to it for Reed. Beyond Braden Shen's reach, out to Couturier. And now Braden Shen has it. Reed getting it back out. Couturier across the strike. Time wasting in the power play now, down to 16 seconds. Here's Strike. Takes the shot, holds, and then takes one. Deflection. Glove save, Dubnyk, as he robs Braden Shen in tight.
Heads up play there by Mark Streit, and the good save by Dubnyk. Santa Sacks, the Ultimate Flyers gift pack, are on sale now. Packages include 2 tickets to a Flyers game of your choice, an autographed puck, tickets to Adirondack Phantoms games in Philadelphia, a Flyers calendar, and more. Get this great gift now.
Well, the gift for the Oilers was the glove. Devin Dubnyk, as he robbed Braden Shen there to keep this game scoreless. Here's Reed. Cross ice. LeCavalier back to strike. The power play is over. Oilers back to full strength. Braden Shen centering. Reed spun around and could not play it. Nugent Hopkins will. And he does so out of his zone. No icing here as Streit goes back. We approach the midpoint of this first period. Oilers with 7 shots. The Flyers with 5. None have gone in. Streit will start up. Banking it for Couturier. Couturier finding that puck, and then Andrew Ferentz gets to him. Ronaldo trying to fish the puck free and does. Ronaldo, though, is checked. Teaming it in from the point. Round behind for Couturier. Couturier, setters shot. Coburn off the crossbar. Braden Coburn, nearly his 3rd of the year. But he found iron. Now here's Couturier looking for Ronaldo. Ends up back on Coburn's stick, and he'll jam it back deep into the Edmonton zone. Petrie up the wall. Eberle couldn't clear. Coburn back down low. Good work by the Flyers. They have the Oilers bottled up here. Ronaldo dishing, and now the pass, though, back to the point. And Raffl is tipped out to center by Parent.
A nice job by Coburn when he jumped in there and rang that one off the crossbar. Raffl again had Coburn open at the point, but telegraphed the pass, and the Oilers were able to easily stop that play.
Voracek using his speed to get to this puck. Might have been held. No call. Puck goes back out to Gustafsson. Gustafsson pass cross ice. Now Voracek in the middle looking for Giroux, but he was well marked by Gagne, and the Oilers move the puck to center. Cut off by Luke Schenn as he's falling to the ice. He fires it across to Voracek. Get across the line. Voracek to Giroux in the slot. The shot blocked. Just a slight hesitation, and Beloff was able to get in the way of it. When you're struggling to score, it is that slight hesitation that sometimes will cost you. Here's Hall the other way, looking for Gagne. Too much on that pass. Now it bounces right out into the blue paint. Hall got his stick on that. Flyers able to recover, and they clear the zone. I'm going to call this icing. It went right past Larson, but icing will be the call.
Well, Flyers getting their chances here in the first period. Devin Dubnyk coming up with a couple of different saves. Braden Coburn rang one right off the crossbar as he jumped in to fire it. Here's the opportunity in front with Simmons battling on the Kimmo Timonen shot. Voracek to the net. More traffic in front between Simmons and Hartnell. Mark Streit, a nice pass there to Braden Shen, and then Coburn jumping in.
The one I really like, I like that move by Streit to be able to drop his shoulder, then move from right to left to avoid the guy at the top of the box. That's the thing that's got to happen. A little bit more creativity.
Rosehill burrowing into the Edmonton zone. Ronaldo gets the puck back to Rosehill. He is checked straight and along the wall, hoping for Adam Hall. Hall marked by Fadoon, but still controls. Settles it back around behind the net. Ronaldo and Nick Schultz after the puck. Ronaldo threw his shoulder into Schultz. Puck pops free. Good hard work along the wall. Puck back to Grossman. Across it goes. In the middle is shot. Rosehill. He scores! Of course, it's Jay Rosehill ending the Flyers' home ice scoring drought as he redirects that one past Dubnyk. 1-0 Philadelphia. Rosehill scores for a case of Tasty Cake.
He's a fired up man right there, and what a touch by Rosehill around the net. It's Mark Streit again. We showed the terrific pass that he made to Braden Shen on the power play. Look at that pass right on the tape. All Rosehill has to do is reach out and put it past Devan Dubnyk.
Well, he did that right on the timing of what I said about being creative. That's creative. Had his head up, saw that he had Rosehill all by himself. It was just a matter of redirecting. And give Jay Rosehill a lot of credit. He had his stick right in the right spot. Didn't waste any time. We saw Giroux kind of hitch a little bit. Rosehill did not hitch there.
175 minutes of scoreless hockey at home is over, and now they're looking for more. LeCavalier centered. Braden Shen steers it wide. Oh, Shen, another glorious chance, but could not find the target. And now the Oilers play it across ice in center. Gustafsson stops that rush, and the puck ends up over the glass and into the crowd. 7:41 remaining in the first period. Jay Rosehill into the lineup and onto the score sheet. And the Flyers have the early lead here this afternoon.
Flyers lead the Edmonton Oilers 1-0. We're past the halfway mark of the first period. It's time now for our Timberland great hit and hard hit of the week. How about this one? Bowling from the Chicago Blackhawks Dogs party of the Winnipeg Jets. Yeah, that's what they call knocking him out of the ice surface right there. And then all of a sudden you see his helmet. Yeah, his helmet was stolen by a fan.
Yeah. Man who had been overserved, perhaps.
A little bit.
He's no Bartman, that guy.
He didn't even look good in the helmet.
We said it in the broadcast the other night. Teddy Purcell must have been a former teammate at a party. Surprised they could find a fan who had a mug as big as.
That's great. Fit him perfect.
It did, yes.
It was a little tight, I thought.
Blackhawks apologized for the action of the fan. There we go. Timonen shot redirected wide by Raffl. Flyers active with the sticks on the redirects here early on. Raffl back after the puck, but he's stepped into by Mila. Larson over. Puts it to the wall. And the battle on there. David Brown, the former Blue, who's been out for that neck injury. Going for the puck, but here's Edmonton coming with Eberle in center. Nugent Hopkins, and he'll dish it and go after it himself. Timonen. Reed comes back for Timonen. Knocked over his stick into the corner. Plenty of physicality here early on. 14 hits between the two teams. Flyers get the puck. Reed deliberately moving up. We'll just flutter one to the left. Devan Dubnyk. Nick Schultz, former Minnesota Wild defenseman, is back. Takes a hit from Hartnell as he clears it all the way down. They wave off Bison. Mason. This direction. Plays the puck to Grossman. Ahead for Hartnell. Turning. And now rink wide looking for Voracek off his skate. Jake will go after it in the corner. Round behind the net. Moving well. Voracek looks in the middle. His pass is to Hartnell. And Scott not sure what to do with it. One hands it ahead. For Giroux, it bounces off the shin pad of Hartnell. Nick Schultz will play it. Off the stick of Hall. Back out to Streit. Streit flipping one redirected. Save made by Dubnyk. Not much on it by the time it made it to the Edmonton goaltender. Hartnell with a shot here, and that's blocked in front. As Voracek is trying to cause trouble in front. Now it comes right through the blue paint. And Fadoon will move it ahead to Sam Gagner. Gagner pass to Hemsky. The shot and the save made by Mason. Simmons leaned on. Still able to keep the puck alive to Grossman. We tick down to 5.5 remaining here in this first period. 1-0 Flyers. That pass in the skate of Giroux looking to get to the bench. Into the long shift. Who lost the puck, and it's Cavalier the other way for Philadelphia. Holds on, waits, and then fires the shot. It's blocked off by Ferentz. Rensu now will move it to Petrie. This pass right back to the former Islander. He's been out with a neck injury. He gets steamrolled in center by Braden Shen. Flyers continue to be physical in this one. Here is Shen to his brother. Now Luke on the right wing for Simmons. Simmons for LeCavalier. Couldn't get to it. Second try did sweep it on through the slot. Braden Shen looking for Vinny behind the net. Bounces out to Luke. To Simmons. He'll take the shot. Blocked. And now Arcabella will move out with it. 12 points on the year for Arcabella. The Yale products. They have a couple of Ivy Leaguers, former Ivy Leaguers.
Smart players.
Yeah, IQ quotient for the Oilers, pretty high. Rosehill in on the forecheck. Veloff is there, backhands it ahead. Now the Oilers have it with speed. Ryan Smith. He's cut off by Timonen. Look for the puck, and now Yakupov has it. Supremely talented Yakupov. He'll take risks with the puck for sure, though. He's an NHL low -14 coming into this one. The puck seems to be frozen, but they're being told by referee Kelly Sutherland to move it. They do it. Comes out in front. And now here's Larson with a shot. It goes off a stick wide out the other side. Mason didn't see it initially. Now Hall has it. He'll get to Ronaldo. Coburn is without a stick. Not a problem now as Ronaldo gets the puck into the Edmonton zone. Less than 4 minutes to play in this first period as Larson goes back. Flyers completing a line change here, as are the Oilers. Veloff. Right back to Larson, and now up the wall for Eberle. Here's checked by Grossman. Spilled by Grossman. Lee tried to go cross ice, but it's intercepted by David Perron. Now they acquired in the offseason. He's had some pretty good seasons with St. Louis. Had concussion issues. They're hoping he's over those. There he is after the puck. Gets it back to Schultz. And along for Eberle. Back across it goes, and Fadoud could not keep it in the zone. Have to play it from center. Right back into the Philadelphia end. Couturier will shield the puck to Grossman. Now Couturier backhand into the neutral zone. Flyers getting it back. Braden Coburn. 8 shots apiece now as Coburn gives to Streit, gaining the line. Streit back out. The shot goes wide from Hartnell all the way out to Streit. Streit back to Hartnell. Oh, the shot. He scores! Scott Hartnell beating Dubnyk from the slot, and the Flyers have a 2-0 lead. Hartnell scores for a case of tasty cake.
And it's Mark Streit again that has a lot to do with this goal. He continues to move the puck well here in the first period. Flyers looking for offense from their blue line when they signed Mark Streit, and he's paying off today. A nice pass there to start the play, retrieves it, and sends it perfect to the tape for Hartnell, who buries the second goal of the period from Mark Streit.
Somebody missed an assignment because Scott Hartnell's going to find himself right there, alone, to take that shot just one-on-one with Dubnyk, and he takes advantage of being a left-hand shot, looking for that far angle, and it pays off.
The Flyers with a 2-goal lead, still 2.5 to go here in this first period. They have equaled their goal total from the last 4 games here in the first period. And Voracek looks to give them one more than the last 4 games, but one skimmed high and wide. Petrie to the puck. Hemsky, he is checked by Timonen, but moving ahead with the puck is Hall. Hall cutting to the middle. Hall, the shot, save Mason! Sliding one way, but able to make the stop. And the Flyers clear the zone. Big breakdown there by the Flyers, but Mason erased the mistake.
When Hall has the puck going one-on-one, you need help from the forwards coming back. You got to skate right back to the middle and try to give him some of that backside pressure. The Flyers didn't do it there, and Hall almost buried one.
That's going to be icing on Philadelphia right there. The face-off back into Philadelphia ice. Well, get Philly sports news and scores when you're on the go. Be the first to know the latest on all of your Philly teams right from your smartphone. Download the free CSN Philly Sports app now. Just the one assist on that goal by Hartnell as Streit gets his second helper of the game. And the Flyers get the puck here. Wayne Simmons. Hang it off for Gustafsson. Now Braden Shen with a shot. Getting his stick in there was Veloff, and it goes well out of play. Scott Hartnell on the board for the Flyers, giving them a 2-goal lead against the Edmonton Oilers late in the first.
Flyers up by 2 in the early going here. Mark Streit 2 assists in that first period. He's done an outstanding job of joining the rush and continues to look impressive here against the Oilers. There's a pass in front. A second one here to Jay Rosehill. That's it. Ends up in the back of the net. Another one here to Scott Hartnell. 2 assists for Streit, 2 goals for the Flyers, and that's exactly what they're looking for from Mark Streit.
The guy who had 62 points in his season once upon a time as a Montreal Canadian, and some productive years with the Islanders as well. Coburn, one-handing that puck to LeCavalier. He's checked. It bounces back to Perrin, and now he'll move it to Arcabella. Holds on and flings one in. Right into the red basket of Mason. He'll hang on for the face-off. We're pushing and shoving, but nothing too serious. Gives us a chance to tell you about our Dodge trivia question of today's game. The Flyers welcome their 10 millionth fan in the game against the Oilers in what year? 1978, 1982, or Jonesy's birth year, 1983.
Feels that way.
You feel young, don't you?
Yep.
You're not.
You're correct.
I'm older, which is even worse. Face off to the
It
right.
happens.
It does. Better than the alternative, however.
Correct.
1:18 remaining in this first period. And the Flyers able to control Raffle. Looking for his first NHL tally. Chips it in and chases. Couturier picks up the battle form along the wall. Turns it around to the other side of the ice. Streit active again. Got that back to Reed, who takes the shot. And it was deflected, but dribbled wide as Couturier was looking for it. Now, Raffle from the angle. Sits at the side of the net. Couturier digs it free. Muscles it to the side of the net. Turns and fires, save by Dubnyk. Reed to it. Now Reed will turn it down low. Some of the cycle game. Flyers haven't had a lot of this going recently, but they have here today. Couturier turning with it. Holds, waits. Looks for an opening. Now goes across ice. Grossman in from the point. Going to turn back with it. And it's tipped back to Streit with some room. He'll take the shot into the glove of Dubnyk, and he'll hang on.
Well, you can host a sweet holiday party at a Flyers game. Invite 12 to 72 guests and get an autographed Flyers puck to give to each one. Plus an autographed Flyers jersey. Call 215-389-9500 to book your premium holiday party today. Maybe those two characters will show up.
It is holiday time, isn't it?
Already.
Christmas shopping underway for some. Puck ahead. Everly is checked. Good job again by the Flyers. That was Tiemann in their defensive and active. Keeping that puck in the offensive zone. Tiemann in across. Coburn shot. Missed the target. All the way out. Backhanded in by Giroux. Voracek to Tiemann in. Tiemann in front. Goes through the shot. Dubnyk the save on Hartnell. And he'll hang on. Giroux was there. It went past him. And then Hartnell ended up with the angle drive. But Dubnyk can answer this time.
Really good clock management by the Flyers at the end of this period. Tiemann recognizing the seconds were clicking down on the period. It jumps in, takes that chance offensively, and Dubnyk gets across to make a nice save on Scott Hartnell. Dubnyk in good position there, and the Flyers can't find a rebound because the big goaltender's got it covered up.
And speaking of that clock, just 2.4 seconds remaining on it here in the first period. Flyers try to get something off that draw, but the Oilers instead tip it back behind the net. Petrie controls there, and the first period comes to an end. Scott Hartnell with his second of the year after Jay Rosehill got the Flyers on the board with his first. A solid first stanza for the Flyers. They lead the Oilers 2-0 through 20 minutes. Today's Flyers-Oilers first period was brought to you by Mazda. We believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. And by Powerback Rehabilitation. Downstairs we go. Coatsy set to chat with Scott Hartnell.
Scotty, let's talk about the attitude, because you're a guy that said, I've seen you. I give you credit. You've had a real good attitude throughout this. You keep upbeat, and now all of a sudden things seem to be paying off.
Well, I think it's all about effort. We talked about that after last game. We didn't win too many battles, and tonight you can see guys are paying the price, getting the pucks out. Really smart at the red lines, getting puck deep. You know, we can play offense all day long if we get the pucks deep. We can't turn it over.
Opportunities, you've been getting them, and all of a sudden you're getting a real good look. Talk about that goal you had in the first period.
Well, I think it's coming for everybody in the dressing room. Everyone's, get their chances. Good things happen when you hit the net, when you put pucks on the net. And our D have been doing a great job that first period getting pucks in the net, so we got to keep doing that.
Thanks very much, Scotty.
Thanks.
Flyers with a 2-goal lead through 20 minutes of play here at Wells Fargo Center. John Boric and Al Morgani are up next as they analyze a solid first period from the guys in orange and black. That's next after these messages.
When the Flyers win,
This portion of Flyers hockey on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Chevrolet and your local Chevy dealers.
Flyers had not scored in the Wells Fargo Center since October 29th, but they put up a pair in the opening period against the Edmonton Oilers. And when you go through a stretch of goalless hockey, you try anything that you can, and sometimes you have to rely on some of those dirty goals. We welcome in Al Morgani, and a successful opening period for the Flyers. That's exactly what they wanted.
It was nice to hear that loud horn play for the home team goal. Was wondering if that was going to work after so long, but it surely did. And you could tell things going to different. You know, Edmonton's struggling defensively, obviously, and what happened was the Flyers managed to control the puck in the zone, cycle the puck, keep control throughout, and that would lead to opportunities. Opportunities obviously lead to goals. Edmonton tried to get the puck out, can't do it. Edmonton doesn't do a good job of shutting down the middle of the ice, and the Flyers taking advantage. Puck stays in, come in over the blue line with some speed again. Middle of the ice. Took a little bit of time to get that shot off. That might be part of the problems with Giroux's having. Didn't get it, but managed to get the shot on net. Again, keep control, and then they pay off with the goal. And right, that was Green Bay. He's in the crowd.
And how about Mark Streit's recognition to see Jay Rosehill on the other side of the ice?
Absolutely terrific. And it was mentioned by Scott Hartnell there at the end on the interview with Coatsy that the defenseman played such a big part setting up the opportunities.
All right, Streit with a pair of helpers in that opening period. Al and I will take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take a look at that second goal of that opening period. Scott Hartnell with his second of the season. That and more when we return. Shots in favor of the Flyers, 13-10. Of those 13 shots, 2 of those found the back of the net. Welcome back in. John Bork along with Al Morgani. If you take a look at some of the Oiler goaltending numbers, you can see why they have certainly struggled. And the Flyers, I think part of their philosophy, Al, coming into this game was get inside their heads and know that we're going to be around them.
And get right in the grill of the goaltender here. Send him a message early. You can talk all the system you want in hockey, and sometimes it just comes right down to elbow grease. Right there in front, right behind, not only in front of the goaltender, there's Hartnell, push the goaltender, let him know that you're there and you're going to continue to be there. Forecheck in front takes a bit of a whack there, but most importantly, you've got that goaltender looking, wondering where are they going to be next.
We talk about Scott Hartnell. We haven't really seen much of that gritty sandpaper effort that he brings at blue collar, but we saw, you saw in that highlight clip there, giving Dubnyk a little bit. He was teeing up a one-timer. That first period looked like the Scott Hartnell of old.
Yeah, Scott Hartnell, he walks that fine line. I mean, he's a physical player, and you can look bad when he's crashing into the Hartnell down is not funny when the Hartnell down doesn't lead to good opportunities. In this case, it led to opportunities. It led to chances. It led to good physical play. One hand on the stick right in front of the net. So that was key. But Hartnell did bring up that his defenseman played such a huge part.
Yeah, and with that, Mark Streit adds to his assist total, now has 6 on the season. And wherever he is on the ice, I think the Oilers forwards are now going to have to take notice.
And if you notice, it's the look up that he does. Look up, the walk the line, the Johnny Cash, I walk the line right across the blue line. It's not just a case of getting the puck, shooting it on net, getting it hard at the net, whatever. Sometimes it's not that hard shot. It's a semi-slap shot. It's a wrist shot. Just get it there for opportunities. And this is what the Flyers expected when they got him. He was a guy that was supposed to kickstart an offense, send the puck in the right direction, be a point guy where the puck's going to go to lead to opportunities, and we're seeing that in the first period.
All right, so if you go back to that last game or a couple games ago against the Anaheim Ducks when they scored 2 in the opening period, did not score again, lost 3-2. What do the Flyers have to do to maintain that sort of pressure this time around?
Well, it looks like they're getting in better shape. I mean, the fact of the matter is they look like the team that hasn't been in shape early in the year. So we'll see what happens as they go into the second. And then more key, the third period. See if it can be more of a celebration of a third period rather than worried about what's going to happen in the third period.
All right, Scott Hartnell getting on the board, his second goal of the season. Al and I will be back after period number 2. JJ, Jonesy, and Coatsy will have more right after this.
And any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the National Hockey League is expressly prohibited. Well, the Flyers are on the road next week, a 3-game trip that begins in Ottawa, Canada's capital, against the Senators. Sens trying to recover from a slow start. They're Bobby Ryan in tow. Should be a good hockey game. Two hungry hockey teams on Tuesday night. Flyers Senators. Coverage beginning at 7 o'clock. Comcast Sportsnet. Second period action between the Flyers and the Oilers after these messages. Today's second period from the Wells Fargo Center is brought to you by your local Delaware Valley Audi dealers and legendary Audi Quattro all-wheel drive, the world's top-selling luxury all-wheel drive system. Also brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Flyers, good first period in which they outshoot the Oilers, outchance them, and outscore them.
Yeah, even the missed shot number there at 8. They did a good job of keeping the puck down in the offensive zone. That's our Sugar House first period stats. Sugar House Casino, that is. And the Flyers end up getting off to the start that they wanted to this afternoon. There's the scoring summary. Jay Rosehill picking up his first of the season from Streit and Grossman, and Scott Hartnell picking up his second from Streit and Coburn, the Flyers defenseman, picking up some assists in that first period.
Yeah, they added that assist to Coburn on the second goal as you have a look at Scott Hartnell. So often a smile on his face.
Especially when he's scoring.
Yeah, for sure. Our GFC NHL update from Colorado. The Flames and the Avalanche, as Paul Stastny putting that puck home. The Avalanche just continue to roll. Mitchell, the feed from McKinnon right there. They roll past the Flames. Their 13-2 best start in franchise history. Winnipeg Jets have been struggling. They did not struggle last night against Nashville at home. Brian Little, 2 goals on the night. He now has 10 on the year. Andre Pavlik with a shutout. And the Jets with a 5-0 verdict over the Predators. If you watch the first 3 or 4 minutes of that game, it was all Nashville. You would never have thought it would have ended up 5-0 Winnipeg, but that's indeed how it did end up. And those teams from the West, and the West has had its way with the East this year as Jay Rosehill looks on. Their home drought, a thing of the past, and they quickly added another one in that first period. But pretty amazing numbers, Jonesy, when you look at the West against the East this year. 72, 28, and 11. The West with the advantage. The top 7 teams in the overall standings are from the West. I mean, what do you make of that?
It's a $1 million question, isn't it? The speed of the West, I guess they've got a little bit more quickness over there. Even the Winnipeg Jets are a fun team to watch play. They generate a lot of offensive opportunities. As we've got a delay here with the...
There's why. They'll go to work on that. These officials have to be multi-talented, and they are. Speaking of multi-talented, Jeremy Roenick will meet fans in the Lexus Club on November the 21st when the Flyers take on Buffalo. Get access with the all-for-one deal starting at just $85. Call 215-218-PUCK. You get to work with JR.
I guarantee you'll be entertained. that is one meet and greet that you will not be disappointed in. That guy is a legend.
He can entertain, yes.
College students and military personnel can get tickets to Flyers home games at a great rate. Just show your student or military ID at the Wells Fargo Center box office on the day of each Flyers home game. Great way to catch a good game and a good deal.
Well, you saw the talents of Derek Nansen, the linesman there. He came out, had the piece of mesh, and he just said, oh yeah, I got to use my skate to be able to cut this. How about this? It's been a while. Have not played since the 23rd of February back in 2012 in Edmonton.
Yeah, that was a Dubnyk shutout there.
Yeah, and then not played here in Philadelphia since 2011, which was a 4-1 Flyers win. That's back in March of that year. I think it's great. I like this new schedule. I like to see the other teams as compared to waiting this long to see an Edmonton Oilers team.
Yeah, it almost seems more like you're in a league now, and you're seeing the fans in each city can see every team in the league at least once during the course of the year. So we're underway here in the second period. Flyers
with a 2-0 lead. Now, they have had good first periods before and then not been able to foul them up. So this is very important for the Flyers to keep the foot on the gas pedal. And Michael Raffl turn that puck down low for Couturier. Couturier knocked down by Andrew Ferentz, who got a lucrative deal from the Oilers in the offseason, and then put the C on his jersey as the captain of the club after his years in Boston. Coburn across to Timonen, and now back to Braden Coburn. Long pass through center. Played right in on Dubnyk. Scott Hartnell and the Flyers will take the offensive zone draw. Scott Hartnell now 2 goals since getting the haircut.
Yeah, it's working so far.
The opposite Samson effect, we call it, right?
That's right.
I think it's great. I think that when you look back over history in this league and in all sports, you know, everybody gets a little bit superstitious, and it paid off for Scott Hartnell. Everybody has a little niche before a game, whether it be left skate, left skate. This one worked for him, cutting off his hair.
So far, so good. Flyers looking for the puck at center. Instead, it's Sam Gagner moving up with it. Gagner with a shot. Glove save, Mason, and he squeezes it.
A couple of times in this game already, Steve Mason has made some good saves. Taylor Hall had the opportunity in the first period, and more of the good young talent of the Edmonton Oilers creating chances here in the early going of the second as Gagner came over the line there and fired a quick wrist shot. Watch how calm Mason is in the goal there. Sees it clearly around Grossman and is able to squeeze it.
We talk about Mason's glove an awful lot. Right hand catching goaltender. Boy, he got that one up quickly again as he goes down to the butterfly. Keeps that glove ready to go.
Off the face-off, Flyers control. Reed. Raffl into the Edmonton zone. 15 shots for the Flyers thus far. So they will get that puck free. Off to Ryan Smith, and now ahead. Nugent Hopkins in across the line on the right wing. Stops cross ice to Smith, who was wide open but could not hang on. Now they angle it back out in front. Here's Belov. They go across ice. Into the slot. Well protected by the Flyers. And Matt Reed back to the puck. The long outlet to Couturier. Couturier moving up. Swings wide. And then is ridden into the boards by Larson. Still has control. Couturier finally taken off the puck. Gagner then checked by Raffl, who will try to turn that deeper into the Edmonton zone. There's what's left of a stick out there on the ice. And that was Sean Couturier's as the Oilers get the puck down the other way. 2 minutes into this second period. Coburn to Voracek. Trying to wheel back, that pass off the skate, then Giroux wiped out, but he is able to, from his knees, make the pass to Timonen. Back to Giroux, the captain in. They're looking for that elusive first goal. He gets to Coburn, but his shot is deflected out of play by Hemsky.
Good communication out there. Claude Giroux yelling for that puck from Kimmo Timonen. Got it on his stick, waited for Coburn to jump in and add to the offense. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who Coates talked about in the open, gets tied up here by Eric Gustafsson, and looked like he hurt his hand a little bit before he headed off the ice. The 2 players coming together right there. Tripped up. And I don't know if it was when he fell or not, but there was something that happened as he took his glove off when he went to the bench and was shaking his hand, but did get tripped up by Gustafsson in the slot.
20 years of age, so much young talent. Coates talked about it in the open, but they've had trouble getting consistency, and they have also, in the case of Nugent Hopkins and Hall, they've had trouble staying healthy.
That's a big factor, isn't it? For the young guys, especially the ones that can fly like that, you start to get some consistency in their game, and then injuries have gotten in the way of their development.
Hall's had some strange injuries, too. He got injured in his first NHL fight, then took a puck in a pregame skate. There's Joensuu firing that one through a slot. Nugent Hopkins coming off shoulder surgery, which cost him the first couple games this season. There's a bouncing puck, and Mason wasn't quite sure what to do with that. Decides to just cover up.
Made the right choice there. Steve Mason has done a lot of that, making the right decisions in his own zone, especially when it comes to the handling of the puck. You can see the bouncing puck there. Straight tried to glove it, and Mason said, I'm a little better at it. I'll hold on to it right here.
So they'll drop the puck to Mason's right. We mentioned in our open, he's not allowed more than 3 goals yet this year. He yet only has 3 wins. That gives you an idea of the Flyers' struggles offensively. And guess on the positive side, Mason's been so good. They have been in every game except for that one Washington game. Flyers have been no more than 1 goal down going into the third period of all but 1 game this year.
It's amazing, isn't it? And that's why here in the second period, they want to get some more insurance markers here and continue to push offensively. They got their skating legs. They just want to keep working the Edmonton defense.
Wayne Simmons trying to get in. Ferentz cuts him off penalty. Simmons may have slashed Ferentz. He's out in center ice. Maybe a hook.
It's going to be a hook. What happened was, and you know what? The referee out in the neutral zone is the one that's going to make the call, and he's going to be a little late because he couldn't make up his mind whether he was going to make the call.
Philadelphia penalty number 17, 2 minutes hooking.
Yeah, it's Greg Kemmerly. As he saw, right at the last second, he saw Simmons with a little bit of a hook. Right there, you see.
Pretty good call from the neutral zone because he does turn the stick over there and catch Ferentz, who does a good job of making sure that the referee gets a glimpse of it.
So the Oilers will get their first power play of the game, only the second minor called in this game. And they will go right to work as they win the draw. Nugent Hopkins apparently okay, gets it to Hall. And he is checked, the puck bouncing in the air. They'll get it back out to the point. Larson, Beverly, back to Larson for the shot! Save, Mason up high and no rebound.
And you know where he caught that? He caught that right between his body and his arm. He just jumps up in the air, gets his body in front of it, but somehow, Jonesy, he holds on to this.
He improvises because there's traffic in front. He's looking through, trying to find his way past the screen in front of Boyd Gordon, and he just squeezes it under his arm.
What a great play. And he's got Boyd Gordon right there in the slot area trying to be able to screen him, but Mason's a little taller.
Oilers again win the draw. Everly having the point. Still Larson and back across. That could not be handled by Nugent Hopkins. The Flyers had a chance on a possible 2-on-1 shorthanded, but Timonen just cleared the zone instead. Flyers penalty kill has been very good of late. 15 straight they've killed. Oilers have scored a couple of power play goals in their last couple of games after having a long stretch where they were ineffective, 1 for 29. Nice pass there from Hall. And then in front, Nugent Hopkins with it. And could not step out in front. And Hopkins back to Larson. Now Nugent Hopkins with a shot. And that one skipped wide and all the way out to center and down the ice.
It was outstanding work by Braden Coburn. A 2-on-1 set up down low. He waited patiently, put a stick in the passing lane, and was able to knock that puck away as the Oilers looked like they were going to have a dangerous opportunity.
48 seconds remaining on the power play. Yakupov hesitated, and that causes the play to go offside at the Philadelphia line.
Take a look at that play by Braden Coburn. We saw him jump in offensively, pick up an assist in the first period. There he is, down, covers the passing lane. Perron tries to walk around him and take it to the net himself, but the stick of Coburn in perfect position to keep him away.
That's the second time in as many games we've seen a Flyers defenseman put the stick right down on the ice to break up a play. Hal Gill did it the other night.
Hal Gill is great at it.
Yakupov getting the puck into the Philadelphia zone, and now they'll set up the power play again. Hemsky looking, waiting, talented forward, back out. He'll have a cross ice one-time shot blocked by Grossman. That had to sting. Yeah, Grossman is limping as he heads toward the bench, or actually hurting up high, I think, as he'll make his way to the bench.
He either caught that in the arm or the upper part of his chest, the upper left part of his chest, because he was hurting coming off high knee.
He is shot block leader for the Flyers, back 6th in the NHL in blocked shots. 3-on-2 for the Flyers there, but Hall couldn't hang on to the pass. Final seconds, though, of the Edmonton power play tick off the clock. Simmons is out of the box. Dance into the zone, get it to the side of the net. Hemsky could not do much more than that, and the Flyers have it. Ronaldo weaving his way to the neutral zone. Zach Ronaldo in across the line. He waits, he fires well wide. Ray Rosehill pumps it back deeper into the Edmonton zone. Oh, Petrie is hit hard, and that's a penalty. I think he set Zach Ronaldo up for that one. And now here's Boyd Gordon the other way. Delayed call. Flyers get control. They're going to be shorthanded again. Zach Ronaldo will go to the penalty box. Oilers with virtually back-to-back man advantages here.
Zach was out there to kill the end of that Oiler power play, getting some minutes for Craig Berube, and then just got too aggressive here. The numbers were turned, and that's a hit you can't make. The referee in the neutral zone makes the call, and the Flyers go back to the penalty kill immediately.
Roughing the call. I don't know about it being roughing, but it is a penalty either way. Boarding, roughing, whatever you want to call it. The Oilers right back to work with the power play. Nice tip pass. Nugent Hopkins down low. Hall tried to center. Blocked. Second try. Swept back behind that. Again, good work by Braden Coburn. He's having a heck of a game here. Larson fumbles the puck away. And it's cleared all the way down by Couturier. He was hoping for Reed, but Reed was stationary anyhow. The puck goes down the ice. Larson will start back. Nugent Hopkins. Again, hesitation at the line by the Oilers, and so the play is offside.
A lot of that had to do with Braden Coburn again, holding the blue line there, and Flyers penalty kill. Getting some good work from that guy, number 5.
A little too crowded right there for the Edmonton Oilers. They got all these people on one side of the ice. It's all loaded up. Watch Coburn. He's going to stand up. Does a nice job. Gets his stick right in there. Look at the Edmonton Oilers. They got 3 guys on that one side.
Braden Coburn from Calgary originally, so you know he gets pumped to play Edmonton. That rivalry is hot as there is in the NHL. He just made the trade yesterday. Vladislav Schmid, the defenseman, going to Calgary. A couple of prospects coming back to Edmonton. Only the second time those two teams have engaged in the trade. That's not surprising that they have not been involved in a lot of trades with one another.
Surprising that they made the trade after the years of history there, the Battle of Alberta, and I'm always shocked to see those two teams do anything that helps each other.
That'll be interesting for Schmid because he's a warrior kind of player. Hits, blocks a lot of shots. Now he's got to turn around and be on the other side of that rivalry.
And Brian Burke, of course, had him in his time with the Anaheim Ducks, so knows the player well. Actually used him in part to get Chris Pronger back from the Oilers.
A short-handed bid perhaps for the Flyers there, but the pass too far out in front of Reed, who wipes out, and then Hall barrels into him. Reed was going down before, I think, contact, although the fans here don't buy that. They want a penalty call. And offside again are the Oilers at the Philadelphia line. At least their 3rd offside in the last 2 power plays.
I think a couple of things happen here. You've got one where Reed's going to lose a little bit of his balance, and at the same time, here comes Taylor Hall from behind him. Right here, puts the brakes on. As he puts the brakes on, he's kind of falling backwards a little bit. Right here, you see he loses his edge. Actually, that was a good thing because I think Taylor Hall would have got more of them had Reed not lost an edge.
Live, it certainly appeared as though Reed was going down before contact. A little harder to decipher in the replay there, but Reed's okay. There's a pass out in front to Hall. Save! Dubnyk. Adam Hall, a chance for a shorthanded goal. Dubnyk keeps the Oilers within 2. Now they go after the puck. Here's Gagne, guiding that back out to the point. Kamsky holding back across ice. Nice play by Raffl. Active stick, and he pokes it out to the neutral zone. Flyers back to full strength. Ronaldo out of the box. Raffl with the puck. Raffl the shot, and it's deflected and goes to the corner. After making the fine defensive play, he almost had a chance at the other end.
Another guy, Craig Berube, just starting to use on the penalty kill situations. If he continues to make plays like that, he's going to be out there a lot more.
Gagne approached and taken off the puck by Luke Schenn, and the Flyers clear the zone. So we are 7.5 into this second period. Still 2-0 Flyers, as they've been able to kill off 2 Edmonton power plays. The Flyers now killed 17 in a row. Gustafsson looking on Boyd Gordon. Giroux couldn't get that puck. Now he does knock it down and moves it quickly ahead. Hartnell's pass makes its way to Voracek, and he'll flip it into the Edmonton zone. He'll chase with Petrie. Take Voracek. You can see the puck was behind him. Now Giroux is in after it. Voracek knocks it down again. Giroux right back to Voracek in tight quarters. It skips to the corner. We'll go after it again. Jake Voracek working very hard in this shift. Giroux will get it back out to the point. Gustafsson makes the move, holds on, wrist shot. That one's seen all the way by Dubnyk. Hold on to that. Still 2-0 Flyers.
Nothing here. Killed off back-to-back Edmonton Oilers power plays. That is no easy task, but a lot of good help for the Flyers as Claude Giroux continues to do an excellent job defensively. And we'll take a look at that last sequence as the Oilers continue to move the puck around nicely. There's Giroux in front there, and he has to make a decision here. He's looking at David Perron, the puck carrier, but knows that Jordan Eberle is a dangerous player, so he heads right to Eberle. That allows Coburn to play one-on-one with Perron and make that good defensive play.
So the captain on the bench is Vinny Lecavalier will take this face off. The against Boyd Gordon. Gordon 5th in the NHL in faceoffs coming into action today at 60%. Oilers move it ahead. Nugent Hopkins for Eberle. Eberle turning out of the corner, got it back out to the point. And it's kept in there. Eberle back after Coburn again. Strong stick there. Comes away with the puck to Simmons. Simmons from the red line will play it in. Sadoun after it. Flyers get it instead, but the centering pass ends up on the stick of Eberle. And Eberle, who scored so many clutch goals internationally for Canada, as well as in his career as an Oiler. After that puck there, deflects back out. Kept in by Hansen. Into the corner. Grossman approaches, knocks the puck away, and now it's Coburn ahead to Simmons. Wayne Simmons gets the legs moving. Now he'll pitch it in and try to go after Vila. Cancel each other, the puck up the wall. Aaron had a chance, now Simmons tips. Turning with it is Lecavalier, change of direction, centered it all the way through. Grossman couldn't get his stick on it, and look out the other way now. 3-on-1 developing. Hemsky with the puck. Hemsky holds, winds, fires high and wide all the way out. Now 3-on-1 if the Flyers can get to the puck, and they do. It's Voracek. Voracek cutting in, holds, waits, and goes cross ice right into the sliding defenseman Vila. Came to a stop. Beloff gave him nowhere to go with it.
As soon as he stopped, and then all of a sudden he come back on the forehand, that's when he telegraphed it. Beloff fell right in the right spot to be able to block that pass out into the slot.
Well, often you get a 3-on-1 and you think, it's got to be a pass here, got to be a pass here. Well, the shot option was open. He didn't take it, and ended up the team didn't get a shot on goal.
And Hemsky tried the shot option the other way.
Yeah,
and
he missed.
A 4-on-1 actually by the end of it, and missed the net far side. Another major no-no. There's the first opportunity as Grossman was pinching in for the offensive opportunity. There's the numbers for the Edmonton Oilers. And when you're shooting, you can't shoot far side and miss. So this happens, a 3-on-1 the other way.
And right here, watch Voracek. As soon as he puts on the brakes, that's causing him a problem. Allows the Edmonton Oilers to get another man back. Makes it a 3-on-2, just makes it tougher.
Now Voracek a shot off the faceoff that skips wide. Gustafsson left it along for Giroux. And that shot was blocked as Hartnell couldn't get it through. Off for the pass that's tipped by Gagne, gathered by Luke Shen. Right wing feed for Giroux. In the middle, Voracek swinging to the right wing. Waits, centers, and that goes off the stick high in the air to the corner. Hartnell and Yakupov behind the net. Voracek. Beloff approaches. Voracek continues to battle. Good work by Voracek. Oh, he wanted to center to Giroux, but it was tipped ever so slightly off the mark and down the ice. Giroux was waiting and ready for that one. Oh, Flyers turn it over in their own zone here. Ryan Smith gets to it. Adam Hall, good work to get back and body him. And the puck cleared out of the zone by Luke Shen. Past the midpoint of regulation time by just over a minute now. Still 2-0 Flyers. 16-13, the shots in favor of Philadelphia. Adam Hall to the puck. Settles it in the right wing. Ronaldo gains the line, tucks it down low. All there centering, and that one off a skate. And denied by Dubnyk as he was going toward the post. Now Ronaldo behind the net, checked by Petrie. All able to get to it. Adam Hall waiting out toward the line. Was hooked a bit there, no call. Flyers still after, but Ronaldo lost control. He was checked by Smith, and down the ice it goes. Coburn quickly to Ronaldo. Moving it ahead for Timonen. Skips past the hit attempt by Petrie, but lost the puck in the process. Then Gordon hammered by Rosehill. The puck hits the safety netting, and play is stopped. Physical game here this afternoon.
Edmonton and the Philadelphia Flyers are going to pick up a couple of coincidental minors as Gazdic and Rosehill are going to meet up each other. Now, right here, you see the initial hit. Rosehill comes in, and then here comes Gazdic after taking exception to the hit in the corner on his teammate. A little pushing and shoving. It started with maybe some conversation. Next thing you know, bang! They said, let's go at it, and everybody joined into the melee in the corner.
Zach Ronaldo certainly did.
Yeah, well, he's going to be the first guy to join anyway. Nick Grossman is our Independence Blue Cross Fearless Play of the Game. Now watch, we talk about blocking shots. Watch as he'll move out, and that's a slapper. All of it. And Grossman comes out and he gets it right in the upper body and says, nice job. Thank goodness it wasn't me.
Teammates appreciate it when you block a shot like that. And Kimmo Timonen, the first one there to pat Grossman on the back.
Plenty of empathy
Yes.
He's been there many times.
You're not supposed to hit him in the spot he got hit with a shot, though.
No, it wasn't.
That was Nick's probably saying thanks a lot. Yeah. No.
Oh, he caught it. There's no two ways he caught it.
So concurrent roughing minors, 4-on-4 hockey. Here's Everly moving on in. Getting it back out for shot by Ferentz. That's deflected out of play. 4-on-4 hockey with all of Edmonton's team speed. This is a dangerous situation for the Flyers.
Not the Oilers of old, in the Gretzky, Messier days, but there's a lot of young talent there, some skating legs too. The Flyers have to be careful here in the 4-on-4. Dallas Eakins looking on and looking for some offense from his hockey club that's loaded with potential snipers.
The old Oilers were so good at it, they put a rule in to prevent 4-on-4s for a while, remember?
For sure.
The Gretzky rule. You know you're good when they're making rules to slow you down.
Correct.
Those Oilers, the last dynasty really in the NHL. They had 5 championships over a 7-year period. They have now gone 7 straight years out of the playoffs. Longest drought is Voracek's shot goes high and wide. The longest current drought. The team had just left the puck sitting there, and the Oilers have moved back. Larson, harassed by Giroux all the way, ends up in an offside play at the Philadelphia line.
Some more good defensive work from Claude Giroux as he gets back on that back check after Kimmo Timonen had turned the puck over at the offensive blue line. And Giroux eyes on the puck at all times and continues to chase down Larson there, forcing that offside. And 4-on-4, the forward's job is to pick up the defenseman of the opposition, and Giroux does a good job there.
You know, you can have a good game and not score. And obviously, you saw the numbers there. It's been a long time for Claude, and there have been games in there where he perhaps didn't perform well, but he's done a lot of good things in this hockey game here today. He does not have a point to show for it.
And he'll get one because he's doing all the right things. That's unfortunately how this game works sometimes, but you just got to grind it out.
There's a backhander save. Dubnyk the rebound, digging away is Couturier, but Dubnyk able to find it as Larson is able to get a hold of Couturier.
You can often see a player getting ready to emerge from a prolonged slump, and a lot of times it's by the defensive work that they do. Cavier, a guy that's been through a lot in his career, and he's a good sounding board for some of the younger players like Giroux in that Flyers locker room.
Giroux out for this draw against Boyd Gordon. Still a minute and 9 seconds remaining on the concurrent minors. Puck bouncing across ice. Ordered by Ferentz, and now he'll drop it off for Ferentz. Across to Petrie. His pass knocked down. Giroux picks it up. Giroux in across the line. Kicks it out of his skates. Takes a look. Goes across to Streit. Streit in front. That one in on goal instead, and Dubnyk the save. Now Yakupov back the other way. Catching up to him was Streit. Yakupov, though, still able to move it across ice to Perrin. His shot off the glove of Mason. That is a knuckleball. Grossman will get to Streit right at the side, and that right back to Grossman. And now he'll move it ahead to Jake Voracek. His pass is to Giroux. Giroux holds, dangles, backhands wide. He's all by himself. Make something out of nothing. Now Hall. Coburn showing his great speed. I mean, Taylor Hall can flat out fly, and Coburn just sealed them off. He has been very good in this game, Braden Coburn. Now it's Giroux trying to get it in. Bielov cuts it off. It bounces around. Hayden Shen after it. Petrie ahead. 8 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4. Long pass for Hall. The shot, and that one took off and found glass. Larson around for Hall. Taylor Hall. Checked by Shen. Good work there. And now fighting center is Rosehill. And Gazdic will have at it. They couldn't go before, but they are now. Some left hands from Rosehill. And they circle each other, swing each other around. A right hand from Rosehill. His helmet is, as you can see, still on. Rosehill is cut, we believe, as they get wrapped up over by the Oilers bench. Rosehill was doing a lot of throwing of punches to be cut. I don't know where he got cut in there if he did. I don't see any blood.
Right in front of Coetzee down there. What you see, Steve-O?
I saw a lot of left hands. I mean, this is a dandy. A couple of big boys are going to come right out of the box. They've already prematurely said, okay, let's go. And Joe Rosehill, a little bit more of the aggressor, starts with the left hand, but Gazdic comes back. He's a big boy too, Jonesy, and he came back with a couple of good lefts here.
Yeah, they were swinging them. There's no question. Rosehill switched to the right for a couple extra ones, and Jay Rosehill an assist away from the Gordie Howe hat trick in this one. Got to save those hands to make that pass in the third period.
You can hear the oohs and ahs from the crowd as they're watching a replay of the fight on the big screen. Jay also watching that. As each get 5 for fighting. No effective manpower on the ice. 6 minutes remaining in this second period. No scoring in this period. Flyers got 2 in the first and have a 2-0 lead. Nugent Hopkins finesses that puck through. Everly chases with Timonen. Work free by the Oilers. Rooney could not control that puck, and Reed has it. Reed to Raffle, and he'll just dump it in and chase with Nick Schultz. He'll turn the puck. He is checked immediately by Couturier, who got it back to Coburn. Coburn along for Raffle. Raffle checked as he moves to the high slot. Got one toward the net. Couturier turning, firing, save. Dubnyk. Couturier also looking for his first of the year. Good bid there. Let's continue to pursue the puck. Reed turning it out toward the slot. Giroux was there and never got there. Nugent Hopkins intercepted. Now he's after the puck. Head to Smith. Right back to Nugent Hopkins. Corral the bouncing puck. Shen leans on him. Flyers have numbers if they hurry. It's Hartnell the other way. Right wing feed. Voracek. Voracek to Giroux. He dinks. And Dubnyk slid across to get a piece. Now it's Voracek. Back to Giroux. Dubnyk down. The shot didn't get through as Smith blocked it in front.
Dubnyk didn't have a stick. He was leaning the wrong way. And somehow he got a piece of that second opportunity by Giroux.
And Ryan Smith was there as well. Here is Hartnell after the puck. Hartnell behind the net. Check Taylor Hall there, and he'll move it ahead. End we go. Pretty exciting stuff right here. He has to hold up, though, as Petrie went in ahead of him. Now it's Hall. Check. LeCavalier picks up the puck. LeCavalier will just spit it deep into the Edmonton zone. Dubnyk will stop it there. Now the Flyers again aggressively, and then the forecheck. Simmons gets to the puck, centers it in front. The shot wide by Hartnell. This is the kind of hunger for the loose pucks in the offensive zone the Flyers have been looking for. Hemsky now to the puck, and he will backhand into the Philadelphia zone. And Gagne beat to it by Streit, and now Grossman. Ed Manning and the Flyers move through center with speed. Braden Shen with a shot blocked off by Schultz. Shen gets back to it. Backed off his stick to Grossman. Grossman for Simmons. And Simmons harassed from behind, then trying to slide it behind the net, but Arcobello is up to that, and he intercepts and clears. This will be icing against Edmonton as the whistle blows. Giroux still without a goal. Certainly has had his opportunities today.
And he's played well at both ends of the ice. He gets this opportunity and goes to the backhand. Dubnyk kicks that pad out and somehow keeps it out of the net. And he gets another opportunity right after it. And Ryan Smith, in front of his goaltender, takes that one off his side and keeps Giroux off the scoreboard.
There's a shot by Giroux again, and that one takes off and finds glass. Well, he keeps firing the puck like this and getting these chances. Eventually, it's going to go in here today. There's Ferentz. Moving it to Arcobello. Nick wide feed for Yuensu. Yuensu trying to center. Nick Schultz has it. Checked. Puck out of the reach of Hall, but a whistle stopping play, and there's going to be a hooking penalty against Philadelphia. So the Oilers will go to the power play when we return. Meantime, more frustration for the Flyers captain. Watch that first one in a bad way.
Scores, you see Adam Hall, he's going to pick up the hooking call, but let's take a look at our Wells Fargo. Great check. The replay, let's take a look at the replay first. Is Schultz, that's a hooking call? I don't think so, everybody.
They called it hooking, and so the Oilers with their third power play of this second period. Another chance to get within one. That puck off a stick and a floater that is grabbed by Mason.
Now we're going to take a look at our Wells Fargo great check of the game. There's body checks, back checks, and poke checks. How about stick checks? Look at Coburn right there on David Perron. Perron sends him on the backhand, and boy, he does a nice job of poke checking that puck away, and that's our Wells Fargo great poke check of the game.
Yeah, it doesn't always have to be a hit in the corner or you knock the glass in or anything. To be a check of the game. That was a very effective play by Coburn, one of many in this game for number 5 in the orange jersey. All right, the Oilers again winning a face-off on the power play, but they are unable to keep the puck in as Larson had that one go off his stick. And so the 23-year-old from Denmark all the way back into his own zone. He will start up. Speaking of number 5, the Oilers had one Darnell Nurse, who's the nephew of Eagles former number 5, Donovan McNabb, who's a defenseman that will be coming along in a year or two. He's drafted this year at a very good camp. Flyers move up here. Couturier in the slot, keeping it up, and then the shot gloved as Reed was unable to get much on that. Now Couturier in the corner has 2 Oilers to deal with. Nugent Hopkins a shoulder into him. And the Oilers get the puck back. Well, the Oilers trade a guy like Schmid, and you look at their lineup, you say, how are they trading a solid defenseman like that? They have a couple of real good prospects coming, and Nurse is one of them. That Philadelphia connection. Taylor Hall moves to the slot. He is checked. Puck, though, bounces free. Parent a shot, and that deflected off of Raffl wide. Big shot block there by Raffl. Giroux knocked down in his own zone and turns the puck over to Hemsky. Hemsky with a deke, holds on, waits, was around behind the net, centers in front, Barrett shot, he scores! Second time in, and Parent able to beat Mason. And it is now a 1-goal hockey game, 2-1, as the Oilers are on the board.
Flyers unable to clear the zone, and the Edmonton Oilers pounce on the opportunity. David Perron ends up being the goal scorer. There's Giroux with the puck there, gets knocked off of it, tried to clear it, and the Oilers went to work right after that. Hemsky starts it, and Perron finishes it.
Boy, Perron did a nice job. Now, Hemsky showing the speed. He picks up on Perron being right at the bottom of the circle as he'll beat Raffl to that area. But the puck is so perfectly put onto the stick that it made it practically impossible for Raffl to get a piece of it.
So Perron with his 3rd of the year back from that neck injury. Now the Flyers move in as LeCavalier sends one toward the Edmonton net. Corner, Arcabella after it as well. But 1:10 to play. It's the Oilers moving it to center and lobbing one deep to Philadelphia ice. Coburn ridden in by Wensu. Gordon got it back. That shot off a body in front and through. Now back out it goes for a shot by Ferentz. That was Biden another try. And that one denied by Mason as he stopped Gordon. Flyers have had trouble reacting to adversity within games. And they've given up a goal here, but they got to stay with the program. They're still ahead 2-1. They just have to maintain their composure and continue to push forward. Simmons sends this one in. Flyers get to it. Here's Hartnell. Now behind the Edmonton net. To Gustafson. He'll try a shot through traffic. Hit a stick and bounces free. And there's Everly. Sending out Nugent Hopkins. Still time for the Oilers here in the period. His shot. Stick save Mason. Rebound all the way out. Smith the shot. Save Mason again. That may have changed direction. Couple big stops there by the Flyer goaltender Giroux to Voracek. Voracek the shot, and it's deflected out of play by Nick Schultz.
Well, the other night was not a good game against the New Jersey Devils for the Philadelphia Flyers. So after the game, we had an opportunity to talk to Hal Gill about the team meeting. It was a closed-door team meeting. We want to stick together. We can't sit there and pout. No one out there really cares about it. We in the locker room, we care. We have to find a way to turn it around. And certainly the way they've come out in this 2 periods so far, this is a better hockey club.
But as we said, Coach, it's all about being able to react to things that happen in the game. And it's been an issue for this team. They're going to have to react in this one. Third period will come. Tiemann blocks that shot from Perron, and that is it for the second period. The Oilers get the only goal of that period. There he is, the goal scorer. David Perron, the former Blue, with his 3rd as an Oiler. And it is 2-1. Philadelphia with 40 minutes now in the books.
Well, you can get flyered up for the holidays at the Fan Zone, powered by Reebok. Make Fan Zone your holiday hotspot for every Flyers fan on your list. Fan Zone at the Wells Fargo Center opens 2 hours prior to all Flyers games.
So the Flyers with the 1-goal edge here through 2 periods of play. John Borick, Al Morgani with their analysis after this. Today's Flyers-Oilers second period was brought to you by Kia. To learn more, visit kia.com. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Today's Powerball jackpot now has an estimated annuity of $87 million. So play today. Pennsylvania Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. Players must be 18 years or older. Downstairs we go. John Boric and Al Morgani. The GMC Intermission Live. Guys, good one going here this afternoon.
All right, thanks a lot, JJ. And how many games have we seen this season where the Flyers go into the third period either trailing by a goal or leading by a goal? And that's going to be the case once again against the Edmonton Oilers, as they got a late goal there in the second period to cut the Flyers' lead to 2-1. We thought we might see Claude Giroux's first goal in some 21-plus games here, but that wasn't the case. However, that top line with Jake Voracek obviously generating a lot of chances, including a couple for Giroux.
You don't think it's killing this guy not to have scored? Just take a look, not only the chances, but the reaction to the chances from Claude Giroux. This guy is out there, and he knows all eyes are on him, not just in the building, but in the league. Gets a chance here, beautiful backhand, tough to stop. Nice play by the goaltender, sticks with him, stays right in the circle, takes the pass, almost looks like practice. Give me the puck back right there. Defenseman gets right in the way. I mean, he's had the two chances. One, look at that stick on the ice. He's frustrated to the first degree. Another shot, he's frustrated to the second degree. Go to the bench, he's frustrated to the third degree. That's what it's been like. When you get chances like that, oftentimes you come down the ice. He wants to make things happen. Here the puck goes the other way late in the period. Edmonton right there, step around, come around the net. Plenty of room. Shot, score, and there goes your breathing room.
And I guess what's frustrating, what you don't want to see from your star players, if you're not scoring goals, you don't want to let it affect other aspects of your game.
But you want to see the grit, you want to see the caring, you want to see the emotion, and after the owner comes down and makes statements, they want to prove that they're not going to be an easy team to play against. That's not an easy team to play against right now.
On the other side, though, Steve Mason once again keeping the Flyers in this game. He's been rock solid all season long, and he has been obviously here.
He's been terrific. I mean, as you said, from the beginning of the game, beginning of the season, and it doesn't matter where the shots are coming from, where they're going, low, high, has to put his glove on it. Nice sequence where he made a save down low, smothered a puck, and then up high. Doesn't look like that much maybe, but a big goaltender, you still have to make yourself big, and that's what he did going up, launching himself with the shot. He's been all over there. Also, outlet passes that he's made, so he's done it A to Z as a goaltender.
Yeah, Flyers gave up 3 power play opportunities. They want to cut down, obviously, on some of the penalties coming up for that third period. All right, Al and I are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the physical element between the Oilers and the...
Today's third period on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by your Philadelphia Super Network Buick GMC dealers. And by McDonald's. Now at McDonald's, any size iced coffee, or sweet tea is just $1. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Get set to start the third period. Let's look at our Sugar House Casino numbers through 2. The Flyers with the advantage in all the categories right there, although the lead is down to 1.
Yeah, interesting. The chances, especially Claude Giroux with a couple, Scott Hartnell with 3 for the Oilers. David Perron, the only Edmonton Oiler with more than 1 opportunity. He's had 3 and he scored 1. As you can see, our second period scoring summary. That's David Perron with his 3rd goal of the season. A power play marker assisted from Alish Hemsky.
Perron, 20-goal scorer in St. Louis a couple of years back. And had a neck injury that kept him out for the last 4 games, but he's back in today, and he has made his presence felt with that goal. So we're underway in the third. Flyers looking to come away with a win here as they head out on the road after today's game. Oilers toward the end of a long road stretch. They have played 12 of 15 games away from home. They just have 1 more game left on that swing. So they're thinking about going home, whereas the Flyers have some road play ahead. Both teams want the victory heading into those sequences on their schedule. Puck ahead here. Raffle and Couturier collide. Couturier reaches back for it, then gets dumped. Reed picks up the puck. Matt Reed into the left wing. Stops, fires. Save made by Dubnyk. Raffle after it behind the Edmonton net, but instead it's Taylor Hall. Petrie finds Sam Gagner. Gagner back from that broken jaw. Finds Hall. His shot blocked by Streit. The pass back out. Larson deals to Hemsky. Hemsky around behind the Philadelphia net. Back to the point. Milov had his stick break on that shot attempt. Flyers will try to take advantage. Moving up is Streit with the puck. Streit holds. He gets it to Giroux. The one-timer, and Dubnyk there with a stick save. Now Hartnell. Turning, protecting the puck. It's a Dvorak. Now a pass back to Giroux. Fires wide. Snake bitten is the word right now for Claude Giroux.
Getting to the open areas, though, and he's getting the chances. A lot more chances than he's had over the last couple of games. So when the chances are coming, he's going to find the back of the net. He's just got to keep plugging away and avoid smashing a stick on the bench in frustration, because when you start doing that, it's amazing how much more difficult you make it on yourself.
In front here, Braden Shen was lurking, but the puck never got to him. Simmons after it. Pass. Cavalier a jab at it, but instead Archibald move it ahead. Ryan Smith, second all-time in games played for this Edmonton Oilers team. Puck deep into the Philadelphia zone. Played back out to the point. The loop shot is blocked. And the Flyers will clear. Both of these teams have had their struggles in the third period. We've talked about the Flyers minus 12 in the third period this year. The Oilers are minus 8. That's the second worst. Flyers only need an even third period, and they got themselves a win in this hockey game. But so far, Jonesy, they do look as though they're keeping the pedal to the metal. They're going at it on an offensive attack as that play is offside at the Philadelphia line. They're not sitting back, and that is certainly something they want to do.
And Craig Berube not sitting back, as Giroux came right back on the ice after this scoring opportunity. A beautiful pass across from Voracek, and Giroux misses the target there as he tries to go blocker side on Dubnyk.
Gets a little bit turned a little bit. He wanted to get that perfectly in between the right pad of Dubnyk. You can see the numbers right now for last season. We're 13 goals, 35 assists, a point a game. Boy, what a difference a year makes. But I'm positive in the ways you'd mentioned, the opportunities he's getting, they'll come quickly.
Eberle's shot there, fought up by Mason. He had a little trouble controlling it. Flyers with the advantage in scoring chances in this game. They want to keep it that way, not to end up having to just hang on for the win. Petrie go across. Oilers look for the attack. Wound into the Philadelphia zone. Coburn is there. Coburn across for Raffle. Raffle gets the legs moving. Got the red line, they say, and cleared it in. Wheeloff is back to play. Flyers are changing here, so he's got some time. Can weave his way to the neutral zone. And from his red line, wind it in. I think it's all the way out to Scott Hartnell. He takes a hit from Hemsky as he played it across ice. It was Gagner. Herded to the boards by Voracek. Ghostman back. Has to deal with Hall. And Hartnell able to twist it out through the neutral zone. No icing here. It'll roll in on Dubnyk. He'll bunt it to Belov. Yakupov, and then back to Belov. Like the last 5 years in the KHL. To Larson and now Hall. Hall checked by Simmons. And Simmons, good work, got that puck forward. Takes it back from Hartnell. Simmons holds on. And then he's surrounded, so just jam it deeper into the Edmonton zone. Flyers looking to complete a change. Already over 4 minutes into this third period. Yakupov with speed. Yakupov, all those maneuvers as sick hands, but pass tipped away. Then the shot by Fedun goes wide. Nick Schultz will keep it in. Behind the net, Luke Schenn. Out of the head to Simmons. Simmons looking to get it to LeCavalier. He's overtaken though. Back on the back check there. Now the puck goes out of play into the safety netting, bringing about the whistle.
Well, Santa Sacks are back. The Ultimate Flyers gift pack are on sale now. Packages include 2 tickets to a Flyers game of your choice, an autographed puck, tickets to Adirondack Phantoms games in Philadelphia this February, a Flyers calendar, and more. Call 800-298-4200 for a terrific gift for youngsters like those two.
Yeah, kids enjoying this one. Enjoying the ice cream, or at least Maybe eventually they'll get to the ice cream. It seems to be wasting away there, Jonesy.
I hope nobody hits somebody in front of them, because that ice cream's going to be all over the place.
It's pretty much in liquid form now. There's an angle shot. And the save made as Adam Hall is after Ronaldo. Ronaldo will swing it back around behind the Edmonton net. Speaking of those fans, by the way, they've been hot. A 5-game winning streak recently. Marie doing a good job down there. So Flyers continue to struggle. You're going to see some players up from that Phantoms club. If they continue to play well and the parent club struggles, usually that's what happens. And again, scored another goal. He's sent back down. Good steal here. Centering pass for Ronaldo went on through. Taylor Hall has it. Hall. The pass. It's taken back by Giroux. He pitches it into the Edmonton zone, but too far ahead of Ronaldo. And now, as the Flyers are trying to change, it's Hall the other way. Hall in across the line. Cross ice pass. Too much on it. Could not be handled by Nugent Hopkins. And now 3-on-2 for the Flyers. Lead with the puck. Holds. Waits. Takes the shot right into the chest of Dubnyk. And he'll hold on. 25th shot of the game for the Flyers. Later tonight, watch the Sixers complete their home-and-home series against the Cavaliers. The Sixers leave it all on the court in Cleveland. We'll find out. Total coverage starting tonight at 7 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. The Sixers beating the Cavs here in this building last night. How about those Sixers? They said they're going to have one of the worst records ever in the NBA. They're 4-2 thus far. Against some pretty good teams. Not bad start.
Some really good teams.
Yeah.
Beat the Heat on opening night.
Beat the Bulls.
Good start for them.
Meantime, Steve Mason trying to close the door here for the Flyers as they look for their 5th win of the year. He certainly deserves a win. He was very frustrated after the loss in Carolina, his last appearance. He only gave up 2 goals. He had a season-high 36 saves. He was remarkable during the game, but he felt responsible for the overtime goal and the breakaway or partial breakaway by Manny Malhotra, and he was very frustrated. And that's the pressure that's on the Flyer goaltenders right now because there's not a lot going on at the other end of the ice.
He almost made the save on Jordan Stahl, who tied the game with under a minute left.
Eberle trying to fight off a check. Even unable to seal him off. Couturier not stay with Nugent Hopkins though, and it's back behind the net. And Coburn trying to get back after Perron. Ran the net off its moorings and play is stopped. 13:50 on the third period clock.
Flyers up 2-1 here. A lot of that has to do with Mark Streit. He's picked up 2 assists in this game. The Flyers defense have added to the offense. There's his first on Jay Rosehill's goal. Second one on Scott Hartnell's goal. Both Grossman and Coburn both contributed assists in this game as well. And defensively, Coburn helps out with a poke check. Grossman with yet another blocked shot. Some good work from the Flyers defense, and the Oilers have only got 1 past the Flyers in this one.
Coburn has been a mountain back there. Grossman's been solid all year. Right, big game offensively. Flyers are looking forward from him. Akapov surrounded by orange jerseys. LeCavalier will steal. Go through center ice. Now Smith. Arcabella holds on. Pass back across to Petrie. Winds it glass. Save Mason. Big rebound. Simmons run over by Arcabello in the slot. And then Arcabello knocks down the clearing attempt, but the Flyers finally get control. And Braden Shen taken to the wall by Arcabello, who's had a very active shift. Shen got that puck deep into the Edmonton zone, though. There's Ryan Smith. Backhand even not out of the zone. Drew is there. Back around behind. Braden Shen for Simmons. He let it go, and now Giroux has it. Enough on that pass, though. It bounces out in front, though, as Shen stayed after it. There is Ryan Smith banking it all the way down, and this will be icing.
Pretty active shift for Arcabello. At only 166 pounds, 5'8", he was all over the place. Knocked down Wayne Simmons, knocked a pass down, a clearing attempt by Luke Shen, and then knocked over Braden Shen at the red line. So
what a
pretty good work.
Great story he is, too. Undrafted ECHL player 2 years ago. Now he's in the NHL among the rookie scoring leaders, and I've been very impressed with him here today.
Pretty strong, strong, and he wins the face-off right here, too, on after a long shift.
Yeah, they need a change. He steals the puck there and moves it ahead. And Yakupov able to clear the zone. Grossman back to get it for Philadelphia. Had that one all the way down, no icing. Belong pressured by Giroux. Voracek battling with Emsky and Gagne. Gagne wearing that same kind of shield that Vinny Lecavalier has, and they both have had to deal with their facial injuries. His was a broken jaw. Taylor Hall dips back. He's checked by Giroux, who continues to work very hard in this game. Just pushing on, which he's got to do. Approach the 8-minute mark of this third period. Grossman ahead. There's the captain. Giroux, oh, coming across, looking to run him over was Beloff. Giroux is knocked down. Flyers go right back after Beloff. Coburn, Hartnell, and others. A penalty is coming up on the hit. My concern is with Giroux. I'm not sure how much he got of him on that hit. We'll certainly get a look at it on the replay.
Well, take a look at it as Beloff is going to come over. Remember I mentioned earlier, 27-year-old that just came over from the KHL. Let's see where he's going to land. He jumped a little bit with that right shoulder. From that angle, it was really hard Jones to be able to pick up whether he got a piece of Giroux's head or not.
Caught him in the shoulder first, and I don't know if the follow-through caught him up high at the head area, but at first look, it looks like shoulder first to the shoulder of Giroux and knocked him down to the ice. So referees are discussing it to see if it was targeting of the head, but there is a penalty on the play, but they're trying to figure out just how severe the penalty is going to be. There's the hit there, and on that one, it looks like there is contact with the head.
The follow-through, as he was shoulder to shoulder, but he definitely raised his right shoulder as Giroux was cutting back into the center.
So the discussion continues, and now the officials are telling the respective captains and representatives from the teams what has been called.
Edmonton penalty number 77, a match penalty for head contact.
Match penalty. So Beloff's day is done. A Flyer night. Let's find out what's coming up on that show from the Do-It-All sportscaster for Comcast Sportsnet, John Bork.
Absolutely, JJ. You talked about the Sixers and the Cavaliers. Well, they took care of the Cavs last night here at the Wells Fargo Center. We'll see if they can do it once again and improve their record to 5-2. And Derek Gunn is up in Green Bay. He'll preview the Eagles game with the Packers, a team that could be relying on rookie Eddie Lacy in a ground game following that injury to Aaron Rodgers. So Derek Gunn will have a report on that as well. Steve Bucci will join me for Sports Night at 6 o'clock. And, of course, Flyers postgame live with Al Morgani immediately following this game. And later tonight, JJ, if you need me to set the table for dinner, I can be over there to do that as well.
You are hired. You are hired. As we get set for an important part of this game as we again take a look at real time at this penalty by Beloff.
Yeah, Beloff at real speed looked like he made head contact, but if you slow it down, he catches the shoulder first there and then rubs through, but he doesn't leave his feet. He didn't elevate to pick the head, and I think the Flyers get the maximum opportunity here with a 5-minute major penalty.
Match penalty, it's automatically reviewed. And the Flyers try to solve this game away if they can go to town here as Voracek's shot is blocked. Of course, the Flyer power play is struggling some, and if the Oilers are somehow able to kill this off, the momentum goes the other way. So, key point of this hockey game, there's your McDonald's power play payoff contestant. Only the second power play of the game for the Flyers as Timonen starts up. Of course, they can score as many goals as they want. And that's a call on the offside at the line.
Claude Giroux came over after and he was discussing it with Jimmy McCross. McCross making sure that he was okay. Asked him how he was feeling. Everything was fine. And Claude said, "I'm fine right now," and shook it off, went right back out.
He did stay on the ice momentarily after the hit, but gathered himself. Oilers win the draw and clear. Flyers have to go all the way back into the zone. Mason having a little difficulty with that puck, but now he's got it. Flyers have it. They'll move up. Strike. Dropping it back. Couturier to Shen. Flyers don't get the line with a whole lot of speed, but they'll try to get the puck back now with Cavalier to Reed. And around the horn, all the way out to Couturier. Couturier just floating that one wide. All the Cavalier to it. Back to the point. Strike. He'll wind and fire. Save. Dubnyk. Rebound all the way out to Couturier. Now it's Strike again. Cavalier. Strike. Takes the shot through heavy traffic, a double screen, but missed the target. Lecavalier after it again. Takes a look, protects the puck, and gets to Streit. Right back to Lecavalier, and now Streit. For Couturier. Holding on in the slot. Reed shot. Dubnyk the save. And he's able to cover up. Big stop from the big goalie right there.
They worked it around perfectly from point to point. Lecavalier doing a nice job with Streit and eventually getting the puck down low where Matt Reed could slide off and get a scoring chance from Sean Couturier. Nice puck movement and a prime chance that Dubnyk gets a blocker on.
Reed's going to get himself into the middle of the box. That puts pressure on the box, but they didn't contract. So as a result, Reed had a great opportunity from that area.
Flyers have to go back again as that puck slipped out to center ice. They've come back to the number 1 power play unit here now. Teaming into Simmons. Simmons moving in. Hartnell going to the net. So is Voracek. Neither of them could get their stick on that. Teaming into Voracek. Voracek hold. Settles things. Now moves it to Simmons behind the net. He could not come up with it. Giroux back around the other way. Voracek flashed into. Ferentz now pushed by Simmons. Knocked down, penalty. Now that is a makeup call written all over it, but Simmons better watch. He didn't want to get an extra minor here.
Well, he didn't like it.
He's just battling for the puck and the guy goes down, but you knew after the other call that the slightest penalty was probably going to get called because that match penalty, I think, would have been a little too much.
Well, this is Simmons working, and that's not a penalty, everybody. Just for everybody to know, he's pushing, and Ferentz is going to go down. It's referee by result right there. Simmons, that's why he's upset.
Well, you can get a great seat to the game and all-you-can-eat menu in the Lexus Club with the all-for-one deal. This great package is available for all Flyers home games in November, including when the Flyers return home on the 19th to take on the Ottawa Senators. That is a Tuesday night.
That is a huge call. Now 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. And as we've said, this Oilers team is pretty dangerous. Although the first 4-on-4 today, I'd say the Flyers had the better of the play. But the roster would tell you this team could be dangerous. Now Reed has lost his stick. He's trying to get it back as Larson drops it out to center. Reed does have his stick back, and the Oilers have to go back to the neutral zone. Perron dishing it across. And now Nugent Hopkins trying to corral a bouncing puck. Spins with it. Jabs it into the corner. Perron after it. He tries to get it back to the point to Larson and does. And now a bouncer toward Mason. He'll glove that and hang on.
Smart whistle there for Mason. And we'll be back after this.
Today's Flyers-Oilers game being brought to you by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Bud Light, it's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And by Wells Fargo. Considering buying your first home, Wells Fargo is with you. Wells Fargo, together we go far. One-goal hockey game as we move into the second half of this third period. 4 skaters aside. Flyers will get less than a minute of power play time back after the penalty to Simmons expires. Meantime, a lot of open ice out there. There's Streit. Starting up. Pushing the pace, but then getting checked. It does make its way over the line, but offside is called.
Mark Streit has done a lot of that, pushing the pace in this game. Is it a very solid game for the Flyers at both ends of the ice? Picked up the 2 assists in the first period. His puck movement has been crisp and sharp. It's exactly what the Flyers were looking for from Mark Streit when they signed him as an unrestricted free agent from the New York Islanders.
Oilers get control as Petrie get back deeper into his own zone. Washensky across. Taylor Hall. Now the Oilers start up. Petrie, Hemsky. Drop pass. Flyers are up to that, and Giroux starts back the other way with Voracek. It's 2-on-2. Giroux with some room to work with for the time being. Now that's the middle shot. He scores! At long last, Claude Giroux has his first of the year. Persistence paying off here this afternoon. It's 3-1 Flyers. Giroux, for the first time this year, scores for a case of Tasty Cake.
And everybody's up in this building. not lost on anyone the importance of Claude Giroux, and you can hear the chants for Giroux right now from the fans. It's a huge goal for the Flyers in this game, a bigger goal for the season as Claude Giroux can finally get that monkey off his back. Outstanding play by Giroux, the quick wrist shot through the screen of Andrew Ference, and Claude Giroux is on the board.
This is absolutely prototypical Claude Giroux goal. Cuts into the middle, then takes the quick wrist shot, and he beats the goaltender Dubnyk high and over that shoulder.
His 299th National Hockey League point with an assist from Jake Voracek. Offside the call at the Philadelphia line. Did you have any doubt he was going to shoot that puck?
Nope, and the way that he has played in this game, you knew it was coming. He's been outstanding at both ends of the ice. He had the one turnover late in the second period, but he kept on plugging away. Craig Berube kept putting him on the ice. He was out there a ton in the first couple of minutes of this period. The first 5 minutes, he had 5 shifts, so that's how much the coach knows the importance of Claude Giroux, and he gets the job done for him.
There's no doubt he is the straw that stirs the Flyers' drink, and if he starts stirring, the team can, as he said a couple days ago, can be dangerous. 4-on-4 for another 25 seconds, then the Flyers with a brief power play. Couturier gets the puck across the Edmonton line. Send it for Timonen! Dubnyk slides across, makes the save before Timonen barrels into him.
.28 shots for the Philadelphia Flyers, and the 28th shot's going to come off the stick of number 28 rather. Claude Giroux, look at this, cuts in the middle, uses the defense as a screen, and right there, what a shot. Dubnyk goes down, but Claude Giroux picks up his first of the year, and guys, the pressure's off.
Indeed. Flyers now look to pour it on. Gustafsson across. Center point, he has it. Flyers to the power play in 6 seconds. And Gustafsson trying to get that one deep in the zone off of sticking out of play. I think the Flyers are setting up as though they were on the power play. Not quite yet. 4 seconds left on the Simmons minor.
They will be quickly here off of the face-off. They want to try to win this draw, keep possession, and allow Simmons the opportunity to get in and join the play.
Giroux is the chant you hear as he was being shown up on the big screen. Getting ready for that face-off. And he disrupts that clear. Gustafsson gets the puck back to him. The centering attempt goes all the way through. Here's the shot. Right, and the save made. Dubnyk, he'll cover up as the Flyers go to the man advantage. 40 seconds on the power play.
Good decision again by Mark Streit. Hartnell back on the ice with Giroux. And the Flyers will continue with this power play now after some 4-on-4 mixed into the 5-minute major to Belok.
Won't be seeing Luke Gazdic anymore in this game. A shoulder injury. Will not return, evidently in that fight. As Voracek gets that puck back to Coburn, he'll wind and blast. And the save made by Dubnyk. Saw it all the way. Flyers now up over 30 shots on goal. They've only been averaging about 27 per game, which is down near the bottom, but they have been trying to get as much rubber on net as possible today.
And good selections. That was a good choice by Coburn there. Hartnell providing a high screen, and the defense have made some good reads in this hockey game.
Oilers trying to clear, and they do. Get it past Timonen out to the Dubnyk zone. Coburn back to retrieve. 20 seconds remaining on the major penalty to Belok being served by Nail Yakupov. Keep an eye on him out of the box. The puck be bouncing back that way. Timonen. And in there is Petrie. And now it's flipped down the ice by Smith. Yakupov gets set to leave the box. Less than 7 minutes remaining here in the third. Timonen to the puck. Gains the line and then just floats one that Dubnyk will glove. And with Simmons charging his way, he'll hang on.
Well, let's take a look at our Hyundai save of the game. Now, Petrie's going to have the opportunity to come in and take the big shot. But watch Mason as he's going to do the splits. Oh, it looks like it's a pad, but no. It's a glove save. Look at that. Oh, yeah, it was in and out. Doesn't matter. It's a save, and that's our Hyundai save of the game.
Well, for only the second time this year, Flyer goaltenders have at least 3 goals of support. And the way Mason's playing, you give him 3 goals, isn't going to make it stand up on most nights.
He's been consistent, and he's done a real good job with puck stopping and moving the puck.
Right. We talked a lot about that, but it is a huge factor. Hemsky for the Oilers getting that back out. Larson laying it off for Gagne. Back out in front, loose puck, and they score! Taylor Hall found the loose puck. His stick was not tied up. And don't go anywhere yet. The Oilers back within one. It is 3-2. Hall now with a goal in each game since coming back from injury.
Well, the Edmonton Oilers find what they're looking for. A loose puck in the slot area that Taylor Hall pounces on. A good job by Larson at the point, getting the puck down to Sam Gagne. He just gets it to the crease area. It bounced off the skate of Mark Streit, and then Hall was there to put it in the goal.
5 guys there for the Philadelphia Flyers. When you finally see everybody, but that puck, like you guys mentioned, it's going to bounce right into the slot area. The only one that had their eye on it was Taylor Hall. He was the lucky guy, and Mason was way to the left because he saw that puck bounce right, but not in time to be able to get back and cover the net.
Gagne and Larson, the helpers on the 5th of the year for Hall, which leads this Oilers club. Couturier for the Flyers, ridden by Petrie. Dropped it off for Reed. At Reed, moves it back down low. Timonen in from the point. Jams it, takes a strange hop out into the slot area. Ferentz was there to bat it out of the way, and now Everly will bank it to center. A race for the puck for Ron and Coburn wins that race. However, Ron catches up to him, ties him up. The puck bouncing free and ends up into the safety netting on a ricochet. Face-off will go out to center ice. Less than 6 minutes remaining in this third period.
Craig Berube comes right back out with Claude Giroux here. And we've seen a lot of the Flyers captain in this game, especially in the third period. And with a 1-goal lead and the way Giroux has played such a complete hockey game, no surprise that Berube's going to him a lot here. Flyers need this win badly.
And the Oilers able to get control. Larson will go across to Schmidt. Schultz, I should say. Schultz ahead, and now the Oilers have speed. Larson across the line with that shot. The save made by Mason. Oh, big hit by Gagne, and that is a penalty. Grossman sent careening into the boards. That's going to be called boarding. And the Flyers, with 5:36 to play, go right back to the power play.
Consistency, right, Coach? They had the Ronaldo penalty on Petrie early in the game.
Edmonton penalty.
And when the numbers
2 minutes
facing
before
it, you can't hit the guy into the boards. Sam Gagne gets caught here.
He's in that perfect spot about 3 feet away from the boards. He's square to the boards, and Gagne with some energy. There's no two ways about it. He didn't really come driving into him, but enough to be able to push Grossman towards the boards, and that's the boarding call.
So the Flyers, but Gagne is still pleading his case to referee Kelly Sutherland. They're not going to win that argument. They never win those.
Nope, and the linesman's getting ready to drop the puck, and the discussion's still going on. So
I'm surprised that long of a discussion, but finally it's over. And as you had to look at the McDonald's power play payoff contestant, they'll drop the puck to the right of Dubnyk. Giroux wins it and gets control, and then slides it to Hartnell for the shot, save. Dubnyk, and he's able to gather the rebound. Simmons battling in front, but it's amazing. Giroux gets that goal, and all of a sudden everything seems to be back to speed for him.
Yeah, and the puck starts coming to him, and all that energy and effort that he's put forth in this game starting to pay dividends. Face-off win that he tracks down, finds it himself, makes a really bright decision, and puts it right in the wheelhouse of Hartnell.
And once again, Hartnell did the same thing Reed does. That's soft spot right in the middle of the box of the Edmonton Oilers.
Now the battle for the puck. Quite a battle. Finally, the Oilers get it. Petrie. Bank it all the way down the ice. Mason will set it up for Timonen. Timonen and Voracek on the points. Hartnell, Giroux, Simmons up front. Giroux to Hartnell. Tips it deep and now chases. Here comes Ferentz. Tipped it, but Giroux is there. Back to the point, Timonen. Across. Voracek looking things over. His pass is tipped, and Timonen cannot keep it in at the line. They'll get it to Giroux. Giroux settles all the way across. Forecheck in front. Simmons, Hartnell both going to the net, but could not get there. Simmons chopping away at the puck. It bounces free. Hartnell. This pass tipped, and Eberle will float one out through center and down the ice. Flyers will change the power play unit into the second half with a bad advantage. 4.5 remaining on the third period clock. Straight, weaving his way up. And almost coming to a stop before winding it in. Schenn has to get the legs going again. Gustafsson after it, but it's jammed past him by Nugent-Hopkins and down the ice. Keep the speed going to the neutral zone. Once you lose that, it's a lot more difficult to get that puck. Here's Streit. Moving up again. Right wing dish. It's time to Reed. Reed carries in. We'll send it along to the other point. Gustafsson has to get over there to get to it. He does. Gustafsson right back in along the wall. Only 13 seconds left in the power play. Lecavalier back toward the point. Streit keeps it in. Streit dropped it back off. Lecavalier with the move. Lecavalier to the slot. The shot high and wide. Reed to it. To Braden Schenn. Schenn left alone behind the net. Holds on. Now they try to get to him and knock the puck away. He gets it back. Angle shot. They score! From an impossible angle, Vinny Lecavalier beats Dubnyk. And the Flyers back up by 2. It's 4-2. Lecavalier's team leading 6th goal of the year as he scores for a case of Tasty Cake.
What a terrific shot by Vinny Lecavalier. Great work by Braden Schenn protecting the puck behind the Oilers goal. Does a nice job here. Great patience. Look at him handle that thing. Forcing a couple Oilers to come to him. That opens up space for Vinny. And from a tough angle, he buries it.
And Lecavalier is so good when he's on that side of the ice because he's a left-hand shot, he's facing the net. And to be able to take that one-timer like that upstairs, he knows that Dubnyk's going to go down into a crouch off the post. And so that's just, oh man, that is such a great shot from that position. But gives Schenn a heck of a lot of credit for his playmaking behind the net.
Flyers still hungry for more as Giroux is in after the puck. Now it's Hemsky ahead to Gagne. That was an even strength goal. Here's Hall in front. Tip puck. Down goes Mason. The puck dribbled wide. And now back the other way goes Hartnell. Having trouble with the rolling puck. Never got it out of the zone. Teeman across ice to Coburn. Braden Coburn moves up. He's going to skate it on in and then from the blue line. Flings deep into the zone. Braden Schenn and Matt Reed with the helpers on the Lecavalier goal. His 6th of the year. His first goal wearing the shield, which he isn't all that fond of, but probably getting used to it by now. He said that was really the case. He had to get used to it.
Sam Gagne wearing one for the Edmonton Oilers, too.
There's a bouncing puck. Raffl finds it and drills one off the outside of the net. Dubnyk got a piece of that as well. Now Nugent-Hopkins stepped into by Raffl. Grossman around behind for the rookie. Nugent-Hopkins comes back and nails Raffl back. Doesn't seem to slow Raffl down, though. He doesn't have a problem with the physical part of the game.
That's the key, isn't it? Getting back up and trying to find the puck, especially when your team's up by 2 goals. You don't want to retaliate and take a bad penalty in the offensive zone.
Less than 2 minutes. See if Dubnyk goes to the bench in favor of an extra attacker. He's heading that way right now. Centering pass. Ron went hard to the net. He's got the puck now. Oh, bodies went hard to the boards. Shot save made by Mason off of Eberle. And now Braden Schenn will bank it and turn it over to the Oilers' Nugent-Hopkins, but the Flyers get it back. That was actually Ryan Smith who stole it. Flyers unable to get that one in. His back-playing goalie was Philip Larson. Moving back, Hemsky. Hemsky checked from behind. Good play by Lecavalier, and he'll clear the zone. 1:17 to play. The extra attacker out. Andrew Ferentz to Smith. Smith deals to Hall. Oh, with a lot of room. The shot save. Mason rebound, and it stays out as Mason slid across. Gagne unable to bury that. Flyers, though. And he hit the puck now as Coburn. Good work in the corner. Got the puck to Lecavalier. To Giroux, who will clear the zone. Not enough steam on it to get to the goal. 50 seconds remaining in the third. Larson to Petrie. Pass ahead, tipped. Adam Hall knocking it down. Or make that Michael Raffl knocking it down. Puck controlled now by Eberle. Eberle, some nice moves. Eberle toward the slot penalty. Eberle was grabbed on the way there. A penalty against the Flyers with 33.5 on the third period clock.
Let's take a look at our Bud Light player of the game. It's Claude Giroux. Picks up his first goal of the season. I thought he was very good defensively in this game. Some good hustle back. Got his big opportunities in the second period. A couple of them in this sequence here. Showed a bit of frustration when he headed to the bench and cracked his stick in half, but kept plugging away here in the third period. And he gets a huge goal there for the Flyers. That made it 3-1 at that point. And more importantly, Claude Giroux's got his first goal of the season.
Well, we've talked about playing through adversity. He had the giveaway, which led to the first Edmonton goal, and he played right through that. Didn't change his approach at all.
He did, and his head coach didn't let him either. He kept putting him on the ice and making sure as Dallas Eakins tries to draw up a play here for the Edmonton Oilers.
As we look at our Mazda top shelf performers of this hockey game, we're on his third goal of the year. Hall on second straight game. Larson has been busy. Rosehill got things started for the Flyers. Giroux, his first goal since last April, and Mason has been Steve Mason. He's been solid. 24 saves and 26 shots. So now it's 6 skaters on 4, straight off for holding. It's still the empty net for the Oilers. A shove on Perron by Braden Coburn. Continues to play with an edge in this game. I have to ask him afterwards if he was a huge Calgary Flames fan. He hated these Oilers.
It appears the way he's played this game has been awesome.
Puck back to Larson at the point. And along for Perron. Flyers peel back a little. Perron pulling it into the corner, and now the pass back to Larson. Hops over his stick to the neutral zone. Perron with a pass right back to the line. Lensky trying to get that deep. It went out of play, I think, momentarily, and play is stopped. It did pop back onto the ice, but play stopped. 10.7 is all that's left in this one.
Yeah, it just went up and over by the Flyers bench in front of Ray Emery and bounced back into play, but it got deep enough onto the bench to warrant the whistle.
Well, they'll play out the final 10.7 here. The horn blows. Perhaps a timing issue. Not sure what else it could be at this point.
Has to be that. The whistle was delayed, I guess, a couple of seconds as they were searching to see exactly where the puck was.
Yeah.
And they do add. What did they add there? 2.8?
I'll leave it up to you.
I think it was 2.8 by the end of it.
Yes. Exactly. Your math's better than you say it is.
Changed again.
Oops. Now it's 3.1. Down the ice it goes. Giroux just batting it right off the draw and down the ice. Oilers will play it right back up. There's Timonen, has that empty net. He'll wind up a drill. It bounces to Couturier, whose shot is blocked in front. Eberle spoiling his fun, denying him his first goal of the year. But Claude Giroux got his first of the season, and he leads the Flyers to a 4-2 win over the Edmonton Oilers. A happy bunch of Flyers, especially the captain.
Some happy Flyer fans at this game as well. The Flyers generate some offense. They beat a high-flying Oilers team, keep them to 2 goals, and pick up 4 themselves, including one by Claude Giroux. Mason sound again, and Flyers get an important win at home.
So win number 5 for the Flyers. You'll hear from the captain as he'll chat with Coatsy as part of the post-game show presented by McDonald's coming up momentarily. The Flyers with their 3rd home win of the year, 5th win overall, 4-2 the final over the Oilers. And they'll try to make it 2 wins in a row on Tuesday in Canada's capital city, Ottawa, as the Flyers take on the Senators, their first of 3 meetings this season. Our coverage begins at 7 o'clock. Here today, an entertaining game at the Wells Fargo Center, and the Flyers end up with a victory. For the entire crew, as well as my broadcast partners, Keith Jones and Steve Coates, I'm Jim Jackson. Good afternoon from the Wells Fargo Center. Stay tuned now for Flyers post-game live presented by McDonald's.
Watch Wells Fargo Sports Night every night at